On a rainy day in El Paso, we welcome you inside El Paso County Events Center for a Saturday night showdown between the Amarillo Wranglers and the El Paso Rhinos. Hi everybody, Guy Chiarenza here from the Sun City, as it's going to be another showdown here in the South Division. 2 big points on the line between two South Division foes that are jockeying for positioning in the Robertson Cup playoffs. The Wranglers last night got the job done 4-1 in this building over the El Paso Rhinos. 3 second period goals on the power play helped lift the Wranglers to victory, as Luke Morris scored 2 of them, the first and the third. Roman Zapp had the second, which ended up being the game-winning goal, while Connor McDonough stopped 14 of 15 shots, and Topi Pukkanen had 2 assists, earning his 10th multi-point game of the season, and the Wranglers cruised to victory here in El Paso. The Rhinos have proven to be a pretty good home team this season, carrying a record of 13-3, 2-2 on home ice, but that did not stop the Wranglers last night, as they were able to come into this building and take charge with a commanding 4-1 victory. So now the Wranglers enter the matchup with a record of 24-13, 5-2 on the season. They're 4th place in the South Division, entering tonight's game with 55 points on the year. This is game number 45 for Amarillo. El Paso has a few games in hand against the Wranglers. This is game 43 for the Rhinos. They have a record of 27-11, 2-2, and they sit at 3rd place in the South Division, just 3 points ahead of the Wranglers with 58 on the campaign. With the Wranglers win here tonight, they could move within 1 point of the Rhinos in the South Division standings. And you take a look at the Rhinos having 2 games in hand on the Wranglers. Well, these 2 teams, including tonight, still have 5 more matchups against each other this season. So there's room for the Wranglers to make up ground in that department. All they got to do is win. And they did just that last night. Special teams being the hero for the Wranglers. The power play went 3 for 5, about as good as it can be in the second period. And the penalty kill was a perfect 3 for 3, as the Wranglers picked up that 4-1 victory, move within 3 points of the Rhinos. So we take a quick peek at the South Division standings. It's kind of moving into the home stretch of the season. We want to know what's at stake, so here you go. The Lone Star Brahmas sit at 1st place in the division with 69 points on the year. Shreveport Mudbugs, 7 behind them with 62. And in 3rd place, the Rhinos. 4th place, the Wranglers. Now the Wranglers are 5 points ahead of the New Mexico Ice Wolves, who are taking on the Odessa Jackalopes tonight over at Ector County Coliseum. We'll watch that game with great interest as the night goes on. The Ice Wolves have 50 points on the year, same amount of games remaining as the Wranglers, 16 left on the schedule. Right behind them, the Oklahoma Warriors with 49 points. The defending champions have 18 games remaining. And in 7th place, the Odessa Jackalopes are trying to find their way into the playoff picture and bump out the defending champs or the New Mexico Ice Wolves. As it stands right now, the Rhinos and the Wranglers look to be destined for the dance. Both teams have had a fantastic campaign, a little bit of different pathways to getting there. The Wranglers have a new coach behind the bench this season, Ryan Anderson, and new assistant coach Connor Yanni have done a fantastic job leading this team to victory this season, and former head coach Harry Mahood is now the president of hockey operations and general manager, and he's been the man behind the scenes, putting his fingerprints on this roster that has the Wranglers at 4th place in the South Division and trending upward with their win last night. Last evening, Cole Semeniuk made his Wranglers debut. Elias Abrant played in his first road game in a Wranglers uniform. He'll make his 4th start with Amarillo here this evening, as the Wranglers in year 3 continue to trend upward and look to not only make the Robertson Cup playoffs this season like they did last year, this time go deep and go on a run. Wranglers have a feeling that if they can run the table here, pick up some big wins down the stretch, they can be a force to be reckoned with in the Robertson Cup playoffs. Now, as for the Rhinos, drastic difference between last season and this season. Last year, the Rhinos just 18 wins, 40 points on the year. They're well past that mark this season with 27 wins on the campaign. Second-year coach Joe Coombs and his assistant Josh Brown have done an excellent job of turning things around here in El Paso. And the Rhinos look to be a playoff team here this season. They look to make some noise as they are led by Frank Tefelsky in scoring, 16 goals, 20 assists, 36 points. Right behind him, number 12, Tori Lund, 12 goals, 20 assists, 32 points in 42 games. Lund is only one of 2 Rhinos to appear in every single game for El Paso this season, the other being Eddie Shepler. He was acquired from the Minnesota Wilderness earlier on in the season. So if you look for the Rhinos to score here tonight, the usual suspects, 11 and 12, Frank Defelsky and Torrey Lund. As for the Wranglers, they're led in scoring by Jack Ivey, who's having a stellar sophomore campaign. Jack this season has 26 goals on the year. It's tied for third most in the North American Hockey League. And Roman Zapp also is tied with Jack with 40 points on the season. He's coming off of a stellar performance over at Top Prospects. Zapp has 14 goals, 26 points for 40 points. 14 goals, 26 assists for 40 points in 42 games. So let's get to the starting lineups. We'll start with the El Pasos, who are playing in their home building. This is the last time the Wranglers will make an appearance here at El Paso County Event Center unless they're destined for a meeting in the playoffs. The remaining 4 games between these two teams in the regular season will all be played at the Budweiser bullpen. So El Paso trots out their third line to begin the game. Number 8, A.J. Reed, standing at 6'1", 200 pounds. 19-year-old will get the start at left wing. Reed this season has 18 points in 38 games. He did have a goal against Amarillo in the second meeting of the season on November the 25th. Down the middle for El Paso, number 23, Bradley Walker. Also standing at 6'1", 5 pounds lighter at 195. Bradley Walker is set to turn 20 in just a couple days, 3 to be exact, as his birthday is February 13th. Walker on the campaign has 16 points in 41 games, 6 goals, and 10 assists. He's in his rookie season in the North American Hockey League. And on the right wing, the aforementioned Eddie Schepler, wearing number 28 for El Paso, was a member of the Minnesota Wilderness for 8 games to start the year. He's been a Rhino ever since. All his points this season have been scored in a Rhino uniform. He has 11 goals and 8 assists in 43 games. And on the blue line, number 22, Jacob Germain, the reigning South Division Star of the Week, gets the start at left defense. He stands at 6'3", 194 pounds. He's 19 years old, and he's having a pretty good season. 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points in 40 games. He's coming off of a 3-game point streak that was snapped last night, where he had 2 goals and 4 assists in that stretch, which earned him South Division Star honors. To his right, number 18, Alexander Pellerine will round out that starting 5. He stands at 5'11", 190 pounds. He's also 19 years old. Pellerine is a native of Victoriaville, Quebec, and he has 1 goal and 8 assists in 31 games. And in goal, last night it was Joey Lavulo. Tonight it's going to be number 1, Michael Manzi, getting the start for El Paso. He'll make his 14th appearance of the season. He has a record of 9-4, a 2.1 goals against average, a .915 save percentage, and 1 shutout. In his last appearance, he stopped 16-17 shots and a 1-0 loss to the Shreveport Mudbugs on January 26th. So that's the starting lineups for the El Paso Rhinos. Now let's get to the Amarillo Wranglers. They'll send out their top line to begin the game, the money line. It's going to be number 93, Jack McDonald at left wing. He stands at 6'1", 185 pounds, right shot forward from East Aurora, New York. It's the start tonight here. McDonald on the season, having a stellar campaign. His second year in a Wrangler uniform. He's tied for the team lead in assists with 26. He has 9 goals and 26 assists for 35 points in 44 games. He's also one of 3 Wranglers to play in every single game this season. Jack has 7 goals and 13 assists in his last 18 games played. Down the middle, number 4, Ben Ivey, Wranglers captain, stands at 6'4", 205 pounds. He's a left shot forward from San Diego, California. He's committed to go play his college hockey at Army West Point. And so is his twin brother, Jack Ivey, who will be playing at right wing. Ben wears number 4, Jack number 6. Jack Ivey standing at 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a right shot forward. Ben on the campaign has 32 points in 42 games. Jack has 26 goals, 14 assists for 40 points in 42 games. Jack Ivey, 3rd in the league in goals. He also has the 3rd most power play goals in the league. So watch out for him to be lethal on that Wrangler power play. On defense, number 3, Nick Troutwine, playing in game number 20 in a Wrangler uniform here tonight. He's a former member of the El Paso Rhinos. Troutwine stands at 6'3", 200 pounds. Is a left shot defenseman from Eveleth, Minnesota. He was acquired from the Minnesota Wilderness on December the 1st. And And he's been tall and steady in a Wrangler uniform ever since he joined the club. As Troutwine will be paired up with number 19, Nolan Gagnon, who in January was named the league's defenseman of the month. Gagnon, in the month of January, had 4 goals, 9 assists for a +9 rating. He also has 4 goals and 4 assists in his last 8 games. He's committed to play Division I hockey at the University of Alaska Anchorage. Gagnon on the year has 7 goals and 25 assists for 32 points in 42 games. And in goal tonight, number 1 on his jersey, number 1 on our hearts, it's Connor McDonough. The legend continues to grow. He stands at 6'5", 210 pounds. The native of Mendon, New Jersey, will make his 5th consecutive start for the Wranglers. McDonough has a record of 36 games, has a record of 20, 10, 4, and 2, a 2.28 goals against average, a .912 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year. McDonough recently broke the franchise single-season wins record. Last night picked up win number 20 on the campaign. He's the 2nd most wins in the North American Hockey League, only behind Matthew Alberti of Janesville, who has 21. McDonough is committed to go play NCAA D1 hockey at Lindenwood University. So that's your starting lineup for the Amarillo Wranglers. Now, other thing of note, Trey Stay out of the lineup due to injury here tonight. Wranglers are down a forward, Sebastian Mitro, who wears number 94. He usually plays defense. He'll slide in on that 4th forward line with Morley Phillips and Jacob Miller. So watch out for Mitro playing as a forward here tonight. Second line remains the same. Number 17, Topi Pukkanen on the left wing. Roman Zapp, 89 down the middle. Connor McNaughton at the right wing. Cole Robertson moves up to the 3rd line with Luke Morris and Elias Abrams. Coming up next, the national anthem, and when we return, first period puck drop from El Paso.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
It's a good day for 2 points as the Wranglers look to climb up the ranks of the South Division. As we are all set and ready to go from El Paso County Event Center, the 4th meeting of the season between the Amarillo Wranglers and the El Paso Rhinos. The Wranglers lead the season series 2-1. As the Wranglers will skate from right to left, Rhinos from left to right. Amarillo wearing a white jersey with blue numbers and professional red trim. Rhinos wearing a 2-tone jersey, black base, orange trim. Rhinos came out of a big inflatable rhino head when they were doing their player introductions. They're struggling to get that rhino head off the ice. Looks like it's got a little too much air in it. Meanwhile, the Wranglers will get fired up. Send out that top line to begin the game. Connor McDonough between the pipes looking to pick up win number 21. McDonough on the year, record of 20-10-4-2, a 2.28 goals against average, a .912 save percentage, and 1 shutout. We'll see Michael Manzi in net for the first time this season. Manzi, record of 9-4, 2.1 goals against average, a .915 save percentage, and also 1 shutout on the campaign. I have a feeling this first goal of the game is going to be a big one. Wranglers scored first last night and didn't look back. They'll look to do the same thing here tonight. As they get that rhino head out of the way, they'll close the gate. We should be set for action in the Sun City. And away we go. Puck is dropped and the Rhinos win the opening draw. They'll shimmy it down the left wing. It'll go all the way into the Wranglers zone, and just 8 seconds in, we have an icing. And the Wranglers will have an offensive zone draw. Mentioned how important that first goal may be. Did a little stat digging. And here you go. Here are the numbers. The Rhinos, when scoring first, 21-0-1. When they don't, 7-10-2-1. When the Wranglers score first, 14-1-1. When they don't, 10-12-4-2. So something's got to give here. And for the Wranglers, they'd like to be on the right side of that. No better way to start a game than with the first goal. Draw will be to the right of Manzi. Ben Ivy will take it and win it. Troutwine from the line will take a shot. Goes in and out of the glove of Manzi between the circles. And Jack Ivy gets caught up by Germain and can't rip the shot away. From below the goal line, Rhinos try and work the puck out. Troutwine is able to pinch down the wall and keep it in for a moment. Rhinos doing their best to try and get it out of there. With a little help from Germain, they're able to do so. Eddie Shepler will gain the red line, fire it on McDonough. He'll block it away. The Wranglers will get it out of any more danger. Ben Ivy from center ice will knock it into the El Paso zone, and he'll head off for a change as the Wranglers get fresh men onto the ice for the first time tonight. Connor McNaughton in the second line make their first appearance. Zarski gains center red. He'll flip it in. McDonough out from behind his own net to play it. Send it back along the near sidewall and all the way back into the Rhino zone, but no icing as Pavel Hintelin will field the puck for El Paso. Zarski playing in his second game as a Rhino. He was acquired in a trade at the deadline from the Austin Bruins. He's also a former Shreveport Mudbug, so people around these parts are familiar with his game. Kruklitis from center will drill it into the El Paso zone. Did carry him to Manzi. He didn't have any time to glove it down, so play continues at center ice. And from there, the Rhinos will fire it on McDonough. He blockers it towards the far corner. Elias Abrandt making his 4th appearance in a Wranglers uniform after he was acquired from Swedish hockey club Kalix HC. Will play it from the corner. Puck bounces back out to the Rhinos zone. Luke Lindsay, who made an appearance at Top Prospects, slides it up to Camden Bezier in the neutral zone, and he will work it in deep. TJ Ritchie shoulders away Medrick Bolduc. Puck squeaks in and out between the circles. Torrey Lund, wearing number 12, will drive his way down the wall and get pinned up by Cole Semenyuk, his second game in a Wrangler uniform. The former Ice Ray plays it to TJ Ritchie and goes out of the Wranglers zone. Pellerin will carry it at center ice, slide it across for Germain as the Rhinos look to get back to work offensively. From the left side, Germain takes a swing and misses. Bouncing at the left circle, Rhinos take a shot and it's blocked. TJ Ritchie, the big man, will step in and get it back out to center ice. 17:28 to go in the first period. Rhinos try and get back on the attack in the Wranglers zone. Semenyuk shuts that down, plays it to Luke Morris on the near wall. He'll reel it around towards the far end for TJ Ritchie. Rhinos able to hold it in from the left side. Throw it across, Bezier shoots and scores. That's Eddie Shepler, who gets the first goal of the game, and the Rhinos, a little under 3 minutes in, take a 1-0 lead. Eddie Shepler. That's going to be goal number 12 on the season. As the Rhinos take an early 1-0 lead. They get that first goal that we talked about just moments ago. They had a bad taste in their mouth last night after not scoring through the first 50 minutes of the game. They get off on the right foot here. Wranglers quickly trying to rally and get the next one and tie this thing up. As they work it into the attacking zone and not much more. The Rhinos were able to shovel it back out to center. From the blue line, Ben Ivy re-enters. Tries to cut towards the middle. 3 Rhinos sandwich him. From the line, Gagnon takes a bouncing shot. And Manzi will make the stop. 16:41 to go in the first period. Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. Eddie Shepler, the goal scorer. We'll check and see who gets the assists on that goal. Draw will be to the left of Manzi. I believe the assist will go to number 23, Bradley Walker. Make that Kyle Arias as they've just changed it. As Pukkanen from the blue line. Plays it below the goal line. Goes off a shin of a Rhino. Pukkanen digs it free. Druklidis from the left point. To the corner for Zapp. McNaughton takes a hack at it. Puck goes corner to corner. And the Rhinos will get it back out to center. Goes off the stick Brendan Coughlin making his series debut. As the Wranglers fire a shot from the line. It's gloved by Manzi, and he holds with 16:14 to go in the first period. Over the course of the season, we've noticed that the Wranglers, not much of a first period team. They play their best hockey in periods 2 and 3. But with the Rhinos getting off to a hot start with the goal in the first 3 minutes of the game, the Wranglers are going to have to find a way to return the favor quickly, as this is a building where the momentum can quickly swing in the Rhinos' favor due to how loud it can get. From the left corner, Miller tries to center it, goes off the stick of Jack Ivy, and to the near wall. Fazier will pick it up, go coast to coast. As the Rhinos get it out to center, will knock it deep into the Wranglers' zone. From behind the net, Druklidis backhands it, looking for a trailer. DeMarco is there. Unfortunately for him, so is a Rhino. Players get pinned up against the end wall. As finally Druklidis is able to dig it free. He snaps it up the near side wall. He's able to get it back out to center ice. Jack Ivy tries to reel it in. Bounces back to Miller. Wranglers will possess as DeMarco will slam it in on the right wing. Wranglers in the midst of a partial change as the Rhinos pick up the puck and head out of their own zone. Frank Tefelsky gains some speed at center ice. Down the right wing, he shoots, and a save made by McDonough. No rebound as he snared that out of the air with his glove hand. 15:11 to go in the first period. Draw will be to McDonough's left. Draw to the left of McDonough. Lund will take it against Luke Morris, who had 2 power play goals last night. The former Rhino had 2 PPGs in his return to El Paso in 4-1 Wranglers victory. Stefelsky off the draw, rims it around. Rhinos. Mathis is able to reverse it towards the near corner. Stefelsky tries to center it, bouncing puck is settled down by the Wranglers and propelled back out to center. Rhinos will twist it back in as they look to quickly get back on the attack. Wranglers having none of it as Nick Troutwine, the former Rhino, is able to get it back out to center. Morris tries to streak into the attacking zone. He gets bodied off the puck. Torrey Lund will send it corner to corner as Stefelsky on the near wall looks to get out of his own zone. It's held in by Morris. He'll slide it down low. As he and his line mates will get a partial change, and the Rhinos will exit their own end. Lund fires it towards the goal from center ice. McDonough clamps on it with his glove hands. Sees a couple Rhinos lurking, elects not to play that puck with 14:26 to go in the first period. Draw will be to McDonough's right, far circle of the Wranglers zone. Ben Ivy to take it against Walker. And Ben is able to win it. Wranglers on the right wing. Bouncing puck at center ice, picked up by McDonald. on the right wing. Stops and turns looking for a trailer as a Rhino was trying to knock him off the puck, and El Paso is able to chip it back into the Wranglers zone. McRoberts, swing out left side, gains some speed at center ice. From the blue line, he'll tap it in deep, goes behind Manzi. Germain is there. Gets his pocket picked by Jack Ivey. He'll turn and shoot. Puck is blocked. The left point, Kruklitis will work it back down low. Puck rides up the half wall. El Paso is able to pick it up as Mason LaBelle gains some speed at center ice. Tries to carve his way through the Wrangler defense. Play goes behind McDonough. Wranglers take a couple swipes at it. And Kruklitis is able to get it back out to center. It goes off the stick of Lindsay up into the air. And a bouncing puck will be settled by Manzi, and he will elect to play it, even though Ben Ivey is in the vicinity. 13:19 to go in the first period as Troutwine will shovel it to Connor McNaughton. Quick pass to Pukkanen, and he'll rumble through center ice. Zap to his right, bouncing puck. Two Rhinos converging on him. From the right point, McNaughton is able to hold it in. At the half wall, it's Topi Pukkanen centering one for Zap. Tries to get it back to McNaughton, but the puck had other ideas. Pukkanen drive towards the goal. Save made Manzi, and McNaughton can't drive it home. Couple big saves from Michael Manzi, and it's still a 1-0 game for the Rhinos. Play moves deep into the Wranglers zone. From the near side, Gagnon finds Zap at center ice. Pukkanen, as it glances off his stick, Paavo Hiltonen, Finnish defenseman for El Paso, is able to play it up, and El Paso will start their next breakout. Cameron from center ice will work it into the Wranglers zone. McDonough will play this puck, backhand it to the far side wall. Semeniuk is there. Play gets pinned up against the far half wall. We have a puck battle here. Everybody wants a piece of that puck. With a little over 12 minutes to go in the first period. Fans get noisy here in El Paso. His play still jammed up against that wall. Now finally it squeaks free to Gagnon. He'll try and go corner to corner. Rhino's able to step in front of it as Lund gets it to the line. Germain settles and shoots. It's blocked by Zap. He'll try and chop it back out to center ice, and he is successful in doing so. But only for a moment as the Rhinos play it back to McDonough. They make a partial change, and moving upwards is Morley Phillips. Down the right wing, button hooks, looking for a trailer. Wranglers in the middle of a change. Phillips is forced to just twist it around towards the near side wall. Bouncing puck, evades TJ Ritchie, and the Rhinos burst up ice. It's Frank Tefelsky. Slides towards his left, toe drag to his backhand. He'll shoot, save McDonough. That one might have hit him in the mask. Big hit by Walker on Morris. He pops back up to his feet. .11:05 to go in the first period as El Paso has it back at center. Walker at the left wing, tries to toss one towards the middle. DeMarco standing tall and steady, able to shut down that opportunity defensively. On the near side, Rhino centering attempt, broken up by DeMarco once more. El Paso, Shepler was the game's first goal, banks off the far wall and in deep. He regains it in the near corner. Up top is Zarski, and a pad save on his shot by McDonough. Second attempt. McDonough makes the save. Puck is loose. And off the scramble, Ben Ivey is able to pick it away. El Paso on the forecheck. Tries to drive it in deeper. That's Reed. El Paso with the momentum right now. This play's been hemmed up in the Wranglers zone, and now Amarillo able to get it back out to center, but El Paso reloads. Is down the left wing. They'll move in and shoot, and a save made by McDonough. Going around is Ryan Ginger, tries to center it. DeMarco's there defensively. McDonough on the post, makes the save, and the red light is on. The official says no goal. And we might have to put that video review to good use. They say no goal for the moment. Rhinos celebrating like they scored. Meanwhile, we get an in-arena replay. So we'll take a look. Shot was taken at the left side. McDonough makes the initial save. There's a scramble for the puck. Works his way up to the right circle. And that's the end of that replay. I don't think that was the look that they were looking for. So they'll put that video review to good use. Ryan Anderson, Wranglers head coach, does have a tablet of his own that he can use to see if he wants to challenge this play or not. Looks like this replay was initiated by the officials. And I can't see what they're doing from my vantage point. So it looks like they're going to check the camera angle. I'll take a peek and see what I can see. I think they might be having some network issues since they're having trouble trying to get it to load. But I'll continue to eavesdrop. Meanwhile, looks like we got another replay here in-house. There was a hit in front of the goal. McDonough was tight on the post. There was a little gap there. The puck looked like it went onto the red line and then out of the goal. And it's hard to say what happened after that. The Rhinos think they've scored. If they have, it would be a 2-0 lead for El Paso with 10:07 to go in the first. Wranglers looking to catch a break here. Still looks like they're having some network issues on that iPad. But for the Wranglers, this little break right now might not be the worst thing in the world, as it does have the potential to kill the momentum that El Paso has generated over the last couple of shifts. Seems like ever since the Rhinos scored that first goal of the game, they've really been buzzing, trying to get the next one. For the Wranglers, you just have to find a way to stop the bleeding here. Thought there was a couple of moments after the goal where the Wranglers did some really good things on the ensuing shifts. We're getting some good offensive zone time, getting a couple of good chances on Michael Manzi. But over the last couple of minutes, El Paso really having their way in the Wranglers zone. And they may have another goal out of it. We will see. Looks like they might have gotten that thing to work. Looks to be finicky of sorts. Lengthy delay here in El Paso. Good crowd here at El Paso County Event Center. Got a chance to meet the guy that usually honks those horns, makes all those noises for the El Paso Rhinos. He's back in the building, was absent last night. In fact, he tuned into our broadcast, so he knew that I knew it was silent. He said tonight it's going to be a different story. He's got all his noisemakers. He's got a giant rubber chicken. I don't think he's had to use that yet. I think at some point he'll break that out. But this is one of those tough buildings to play in. I can't speak on the pond in Shreveport. I haven't been there yet, but as for the rest of the buildings in the South Division, I think this is right up there with NYTEX Sports Center as one of the toughest buildings to play in. The fans here are rambunctious. They're very, very loud. Can be difficult to play here. Looks like we're going to get a signal. See what we've got. No goal. So as we review, the Wranglers catch a break. It's still 1-0 Rhinos. So now for the Wranglers, you get the stoppage, you get the break, no goal. You have to find a way to stop the bleeding here. The Rhinos have really pushed the narrative offensively over the last couple of shifts. We'll see if this little restart can get the Wranglers back on track offensively. They do lead the shot count 4-2, about halfway through the first. As this draw will be to the left of McDonough, Ben Ivy will take it against Mason LaBelle. LaBelle wins it at the right point. Pellerine thinks about shooting. Elects to toss it off the end wall. Bounces to LaBelle. He'll swing it backwards for a trailer, and Coughlin returns it to LaBelle. Man in the corner is Ryan Ginger along the left wall. Exchanges for a shot. It's blocked out in front by Ben Ivy. And bursting upward is Jack Ivy. He's home free. Drives towards the goal. Backhand shot. Save made by Manzi. He covers the puck, and afterwards a Wrangler crashed in on him. I think that was McDonald. And now we've got bad blood as the Rhinos take offense to that. It was either Ben Ivy or Jack McDonald that crashed into Manzi after the play. We'll take a look at it here. As Jack Ivey on the breakaway, had it tap off his stick, he raced after it. Defending him was Pellerini, takes the backhand shot, Manzi the save, and it was McDonald that got a little piece of Manzi afterwards, not a whole lot. But the Rhinos take offense to it. You get a scrum afterwards. And with 9:38 to go, the Rhinos still have a 1-0 lead. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to El Paso. Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. Wranglers looking to rally back as this draw will be at the Rhino blue line. It'll be Zapp against Cameron, and Zapp will win it cleanly, a little too cleanly as it splits the D. Kuklidas will have to scurry back into his own zone to play it down the left wing. Hiltonen tries to move it over to Bolduc. He's also a representative of El Paso at Top Prospects, scoring 2 goals in the second game. Rhinos chop it into the Wranglers zone. Puukkonen works it out to center ice for Zapp. Looks to swing it to a trailer in McNaughton moving forward. Rhinos get a stick on it and possess. Free puck at center ice. Both teams in the middle of a change. Semyonuk will step into it, try and knife his way into the zone. He'll bank it off the far wall and onto the stick of Zarski. Phillips on the forecheck, crunches him up against the wall. Abrant also in the area, can't hold the puck in the zone as El Paso. I'll send it towards the opposite end. DJ Ritchie finds Phillips in front of the Wranglers bench. He tries to spur Abrant ahead. Wranglers on a delayed offside. I like to just dump the puck in as Mathis work back out to center. Abrant off a stick and into the zone, down the right wing. Burrows his way in deep. Mathis draped over his shoulders. He doesn't care. Phillips centers it for a shot by Morris, and Manzi makes the save. He'll hang on with 8:14 to go in the first period. That's a really good response shift by the Wranglers. And they will head to the bench. Good work there by Phillips, Morris, and Abrant. On comes the first line of Jack Ivey, Ben Ivey, and Jack McDonald. The draw will be to the left of Manzi. Off the draw, El Paso's Pellerin tries to shovel it out of the zone. Wranglers try and toss it in deep as Ben Ivey gets shouldered up the wall by Pellerin. Held in by Trautwein, his shot goes wide. Gagnon will battle on the far wall with the Rhino, and El Paso's able to get it back out to center ice. Wranglers look to quickly re-enter as Ben Ivey tries to split the D. Unsuccessful in doing so. El Paso will ice the puck with 7:45 to go in the first. This draw is going to come all the way back into the Rhino zone. It's going to be to the right of Manzi. Zapp in the second line out there. Mitro and DeMarco out there defensively. Zapp against Walker at the dot. And Walker wins it. Rhinos will collect the puck from behind their own net. Zap on the forecheck, making life difficult. El Paso able to get it out to center and not much more. Wranglers will possess the puck on their stick as Sebastian Mitro will bank it off a stick and into the El Paso zone. Pellerine chasing after it, backhands it on the near wall looking for Coughlin, making his series debut. But pops up into the air, flagged down by former Wrangler Ryan Ginger as he tries to split the D. Pukkanen is able to wedge the puck away from his grasp. Like it's pinned up against the end wall. 2 Rhinos, 3 Wranglers are there. Marco jars it free, goes towards the near side. Bouncing puck goes behind McDonough. Ginger, losing his balance, tries to backhand it up towards the far wall for Coughlin. Mitro steps in, the young Slovakian defenseman. He's able to bank it up to the left point for a shot by El Paso. Hiltonen took that and was blocked. Pukkanen has Zap at center ice. In motion, enters the attacking zone. Back to Pukkanen, cuts towards the middle, and the Rhinos shut that play down. McNaughton will keep it into the zone. He'll head towards the bench as Zarski will pick it up and charge down the left wing. Zarski enters and fires it on goal at the blue line. McDonough is able to gobble it up and stop play with 6:20 to go in the first period. Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. Wranglers doing a good job of responding, but have yet to get their first goal of the game. We'll see if they can do it when we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Fans getting loud here in El Paso, cheering on their Rhinos. Wranglers looking to tie the game up at 1 as Luke Morris wins a defensive zone draw. Troutwine from the near corner looks to get it out. Rhinos have other ideas as Bolduc moves down the right wing. From below the circle, spins to his backhand and up to the line, looking for Lindsay. He fumbles the puck at the line. Morley Phillips is lurking. Can't peel it away from his grasp as Lindsay scurries and gets it back. He'll wheel it around towards the far side. Bezier makes a backhand try, goes behind McDonough. Cameron in the near corner, looks to keep it in the Rhinos' possession. Puck pops out of the pile to Gagnon. Play rides up along the wall. Morley Phillips able to get a grasp on it and work his way back out to center. Jacob Miller tries to dig his way into the attacking zone. He'll be picked up by Mathis. He'll move towards the far wing. A check by Miller up on the boards. Head official gets in the way. This play will move behind Manzi. Mathis. Make that Lindsay, gets it back out to center ice. 5:16 to go in the first period. Ben Ivy will hack it into the Rhino zone and head towards the bench. Wranglers see the puck move in towards McDonough. He'll paddle it towards the near side. Defelski keeps it in to the left side for a shot. McDonough makes the save as the play goes below the goal line. Defelski tries to drive towards the net. It's shut down by TJ Ritchie, the Ohio native. Works it over towards the near side wall for Jack Ivy. Will rattle it along to McRoberts, and at center ice connects with McDonald. At the blue line, gets muscle out the puck by Germain. And the play moves back into the Wranglers' end. Fourth meeting of the season between these two clubs. All have been in this building as Zap gets a steal, tries to enter the attacking zone, but McDonald, he was trying to get back on offside. Didn't get back fast enough. Wranglers are offside with 4:21 to go in the first period. All four remaining meetings after tonight between these two clubs will be played at the Budweiser bullpen. In fact, the Rhinos are the only team that have not played at the bullpen this season. They'll make their first appearance on the 16th next Friday, and then Saturday is First Responders Night. That'll be a big game. You can get your tickets at panhandletickets.com as Kruklides rattles it into the El Paso zone. Wranglers look to get to work on the forecheck. Bouncing puck. Tumbles into the neutral zone. Pukanen gets checked from behind as he drives it deep into El Paso territory. Hiltonen looks to send it to the right wing for Schepler. Goes away from his grasp. Wranglers look to launch it out. Instead, it goes into their own bench with 3:51 to go in the third. There's still time for you to make your pick as to who you think is going to score the first Wranglers goal. Wranglers haven't been much of a goal-scoring team in the first period this season. They're much better in the second and third periods. We'll talk about that during the first intermission report, which is coming up in just a couple of minutes. You can make your pick on our YouTube live chat. I'll reveal mine during the first intermission, where we talk about the first period, look ahead to period number 2, and also check in on some scores from around the league. As your man from center ice rifles it into the Wranglers zone. On the far wall, Ginger gets caught up with Gagnon. Tries to center it, goes behind the net. LaBelle trying to evade the pressure from Luke Morris. From the near corner, Ginger tries to spin away from Gagnon. Play it to LaBelle, centering feed. Puck is in the blue paint. McDonough pounces on it like a cat, and he smothers it with 3:18 to go in the first. Now afterwards, we got some more bad blood. Everybody's got a dance partner, but no gloves drop. Now Morley Phillips loses his bucket. He's in a tussle with Brendan Coughlin. Not a good size matchup there for Coughlin. He's 5'9", 170 pounds. For Morley Phillips, he's a much bigger man at 6'4", 215. They break that up. Both teams get fresh guys on. Looks like Phillips is going to stay out there. And he changes his mind and heads to the bench. Threw me for a fake. Make sure you follow the Wranglers on all of our social media platforms, especially on YouTube. Subscribe there. So we'll have a Plater interview for Wranglers Weekly on Thursdays. A shot is snapped wide by El Paso. McRoberts banks it off the near wall, high into the air. It's batted by Bezier, picked up by Jack Ivey. They'll take a shot from the right wing that goes wide and out of play. Stops time with 3:02 to go in the first period. It's the second of 4 straight meetings between the Wranglers and the Rhinos. So if you think the physicality is ramping up here, guess what? It's going to be much more intense over at the bullpen next weekend. You can get your tickets at panhandletickets.com, or you can stay and watch it here with us on NATV and YouTube. 7 o'clock pregame show, 7:15 puck drop on both nights, Friday and Saturday. It's going to be a good one. I want to see you there. Ben Ivey will take the draw on the near circle. El Paso is able to kick it out of the zone. Well, no, it's held in by Jack Ivey as the play was held in at the blue line. From the left circle, Ben Ivey swings and shoots back to Jack Ivey. He'll take a shot, and it goes wide. Ben in the near corner gets slammed up against the boards. Dangerous hit. And they blow the whistle immediately. Looks like Ben appears to be okay, but players, once again, bunch up together in the corner. Everybody has a word to say. I didn't see an arm raise. Clock has stopped with 2:37 to go in the first. And Ben Ivey back up on his feet. Good to see. He'll collect his stick. But that's one of those hits where that's one that you hate to see in the game of hockey. Just a couple feet away from the boards, gets checked in the back. Dangerous hit. And Ben's not happy with the no call, and deservedly so. going to stay 5-on-5 here. Ryan Anderson's going to get an explanation. I'm not sure how you don't call a penalty on a play like that if you're trying to eliminate hits like that out of the game. For just safety concern, you have to think about that aspect. Our head official is Mr. Clay. Looks like Anderson's got his explanation. We're going to stay 5-on-5. Draw in the near circle once more. This time it's Zapp taking it against Cameron. Roman Zapp having a career year, 14 goals, 26 assists, 40 points. Had a goal in the top prospect showcase. He was excellent. He's not committed yet, but something tells me he won't be for much longer. He's a D1 talent, that's for sure. So the Rhinos are offside, entering the Wranglers zone. 2:28 to go in the first period. Shot count, just 6-5 in favor of the Wranglers. I've seen here in this building, they've been very, very conservative when handing out shots. Last night, our total combined was under 30. 13 shots for the Wranglers, 15 for the Rhinos. These shots that were recorded. This neutral zone draw, won by the Wranglers. Zapp, the victor, plays it back to Kruklitis. He'll return it to Zapp. He'll backhand it to Pukkanen, and he'll dish the puck deep into the El Paso zone. Rhinos try and whip it out. Bouncing puck held into the blue line. Pukkanen on the right wing. Shifts towards his forehand. Is pushed up against the wall. Pukkanen strong on the puck. It's hauled down to the ground. Whistle is blown. With 2:02 to go in the first period. No penalty though. Still 5-on-5. We draw back out in the neutral zone on the far side. Wranglers win it. Luke Morris this time to Victor as Pavelski steals it away from Troutwine. He'll shoot wide of the mark. Lund picks up the rebound. Centers it. Pavelski. Snapper pad save by McDonough. Second try from Pavelski is blocked nicely by Morris. Third try is shut down by McDonough. A left pad save. Torrey Lund shifts towards the net. Toe drag, shoots, McDonough, big time save to stone him cold. And it's still a 1-0 game as the Wranglers send it all the way back down into the Rhinos zone. No icing. The big sequence there from Connor McDonough. Germain has his pass intercepted at center ice. Ben Ivey is there. He'll throw it on goal from center ice. Manzi the save. He'll continue to keep play rolling. He'll play it back for Germain, and the Rhinos start things from center. As Arias sends it towards McDonough, out from behind his net. He's able to ship it along to Kyle DeMarco at the left point. Rhinos move it right side for Walker. His centering feed goes in and out the other side, and McDonald pick up the loose puck. Can't get it out as he loses an edge. Luckily for him, it's still in the Wranglers' possession as DeMarco will hold. Stretch pass on time for Jack Ivey. Enters the attacking zone, has a trailing McDonald. Bouncing puck can't be settled down by 93 in white, but it is able to be corralled by Jack Ivey in the near corner. Whip it around towards the right point. McDonald, a shot save made by Manzi, and it goes behind the net. Hiltonen is able to get it out of any more danger as Shepler will knock it into the Wranglers zone. No icing. The Rhinos are able to get a partial change with 13 seconds to go in the first period. Wranglers ice the puck with 5.7 to go in the first period. Looks like the Rhinos are going to take a 1-0 lead into the first intermission. Draw is going to be on the far circle Looks like Cameron is going to take it for El Paso. The former Fairbanks Ice Dog will take it against Roman Zapp. And Zapp will win it. Gagnon will play at the trout line. And that is the end of the first period. The only goal scored by El Paso, it belongs to Eddie Shepler as the Rhinos take a 1-0 lead to the locker room. Wranglers will look to respond in the second period. We'll talk about what they need to do to get on the board in period 2. We'll also recap the first 20 minutes of play and take a look at what's going on around the South Division. As games are dwindling down, we're approaching the Robertson Cup playoffs. Everything is at stake. We'll take a peek and see what's going on a busy night in the North American Hockey League. All that coming up in just a couple minutes on the Wranglers Hockey Network, on NATV and YouTube. One nothing is your score in favor of El Paso after 20 minutes of play as we welcome you into the first intermission report. Everybody, Guy Chiarenza here. Just one goal on the board in period 1. It belongs to Eddie Shepler, coming in the first 3 minutes of the game. 3 minutes and 49 seconds to be exact as when 2 minutes and 49 seconds to be exact is when Shepler scored to make it a 1-0 Rhinos lead. The assist goes to Kyle Arias. He's making his series debut. The Rhinos are one of those teams that does have an NA3 team, which they can use to send players up and down at will, which is why sometimes you see random guys just appear in their lineup that I'm not too familiar with. Arias being one of them. Brendan Coughlin also making his series debut. As the Rhinos have a 1-0 lead. Arias gets the primary assist and the only assist on the Schepler goal. One of those plays where the puck was bouncing on the far side at the circle. Rhinos, I believe it was Arias who was able to get a stick on puck, able to swipe it over to the opposite side for a waiting Eddie Schepler. And he took the shot and fired it home to make it a 1-0 hockey game. And that's your score so far. No penalties in the first period. Last night, penalties were far and few between in period number 1 as well. Only one apiece on both sides in period 1 last night. Things really opened up in the second period. I have a feeling tonight could be the same. We saw play get physical there towards the end of the first period. We know that's not going away, especially with this being the second of 4 straight between these two clubs. You got to think that physicality is going to stick around. And the Wranglers were very hard on the puck last night, and as a result, they were able to draw a lot of penalties, especially in the second period. And it was that big second period that the Wranglers had last night on the power play, scoring 3 power play goals that helped them win, helped lift them to victory. You got to think that special teams, if they do come into play here tonight, could play a big factor. Wranglers last night dominated the special teams game, going 3 for 5 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill against a Rhinos power play. That's 6th best in the North American Hockey League. If Amarillo is able to get some cracks at it on the power play, that could do them some good. They're down by 1 entering the second period. The Rhinos, when they lead after 1 period of play, are perfect. 14-0 on the season. The Wranglers, when they trail after 1 period of play, are 5-8, 2-1. So all is not lost yet. There's still a lot of hockey left to be played, but I think for the Wranglers, there were a lot of really good things that they did do in period 1. Michael Manzi made a couple of good saves, but he looked a little jittery. I don't think we've seen Michael Manzi make his best save of the night. I think he made some saves when he needed to. He was able to fight some good chances off, but I don't think that the Wranglers have really challenged him to the point where he's had to make a spectacular save. Connor McDonough has done really well in net for the Wranglers here tonight so far. Made some brilliant saves towards the tail end of the first period. As the Rhinos were trying to pour it on, there was a moment where after the Rhinos goal, the Wranglers responded with a few really good shifts, and then afterwards, the Rhinos really turned on the Jets about midway through the period, really hemming the Wranglers in their own zone, getting some good offensive opportunities. McDonough was able to shut it down, and there was an instance where El Paso tried to jam the puck in on the near side up against the post. McDonough was hugging the post, and the Rhinos thought that he had shoveled the puck into the back of the net. They thought they had a 2-0 lead. Video replay said they didn't, and so it's a 1-0 game. And afterwards, the Wranglers and Rhinos traded some good chances. Rhinos, a couple good chances there towards the end of the period. McDonough up to the task to make some big saves. And here we are, a 1-0 hockey game at the first intermission. So I think here in period 2, I think the Wranglers really just have to stay true to their game. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive in the attacking zone. I'd like to see them take a couple more chances. Looks like El Paso's doing a good job of getting in front of the puck, really keeping everything in front of them. Blocking shots when they need to. I think for the Wranglers, you might need to get a little creative here. Maybe pick up the pace a little bit. And just try and work the puck around a little bit. See if you can get that first one past Manzi. The Wranglers usually improve from period 1 to period 2. The first period has not been the Wranglers' period in terms of scoring so far this season, as Amarillo in the first period has just 26 goals in the entire year. Now you compare that figure to what they have in the second and third periods. 45 in the second period this season, 51 in the third. It's much better in periods 2 and 3. So whatever the adjustment that head coach Ryan Anderson and assistant coach Connor Yanni are making from the first period to the second period seems to be working wonders Last night's first period looked a lot like a feeling out process. Tonight, not so much. The Rhinos were on it from the jump. They get that first goal in the opening 3 minutes. Game kind of settled in afterwards. No penalties in the first, but I really think that we could be posed for another big second period breakout from the Wranglers. Called it the second period surge for most of the season, so we'll stick with that name. Wranglers really have been surging in the second period in the 2023-2024 campaign. Scoring 3 goals in the second period last night. Looking to get one back on the board here in period number 2 in El Paso. When we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network, first intermission report will roll on. We'll continue to talk about the second period of play coming up. We'll also peek in on some scores from around the rest of the league, as there's a couple other games going on in the South Division that can impact the Wranglers and the Rhinos down the stretch. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. We'll be back in just a moment. First intermission report rolls on. Guy Chiarenza from El Paso County Event Center, where the Rhinos have a 1-0 lead after a first period goal from Eddie Shepler. Wranglers look to bounce back in the second period with some goals of their own. But first, before we talk about that, let's take a peek and see what's going on around the South Division. We'll start over at Ector County Coliseum, where the New Mexico Ice Wolves are taking on the Odessa Jackalopes. New Mexico, after 2 periods of play, has a 2-goal lead, 2-0 over the Jackalopes, with goals from Yusaku Ando And that's it. 2 goals from Yusaku Ando to give the Ice Wolves a 2-0 lead over the Jacks. Over at Blazers Ice Center, top team in the South Division, Lone Star Brahmas taking on the Oklahoma Warriors. Lone Star, 4-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. Ivan Zadvernyuk, Owen Kerr, Charlie Masick, and Zach Rizzo, the goals for Lone Star. Landon Fleming, the lone goal for Oklahoma, as the Brahmas up big on the defending champs. And lastly, over at the ABC American Bank Center, it's the Shreveport Mudbugs going up against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. And the Mudbugs, who are currently on a lengthy winning streak at 7, I believe, they look to make it even longer, and they're on the track to do so. As midway through the second period, the Mudbugs have a 3-1 lead over the Ice Rays. Shreveport getting goals from Colin Vassalo, Braden Cook, and another from Braden Cook to make it a 3-1 game. So, looks like everything around the division not quite going the Wranglers' way. As New Mexico's winning, Lone Star's winning, and Shreveport's winning. So 2 teams ahead of the Wranglers, on track to win here tonight. Wranglers looking to keep up pace with 2 points here in this building. And then, of course, the team behind them, New Mexico, is just 5 points behind the Wranglers. Is just 20 minutes away from picking up 2 big points in the playoff race. And for Odessa, that's a team that's trying to climb back into the playoff picture. Currently, their only team in the hunt. Corpus Christi kind of out of the playoff picture at this point, and the Colorado Grit very much out of it. So, looks like most of the teams in the South Division are destined for the dance. Thing up for debate right now is really the seeding. Although teams have not technically clinched yet, Odessa's push for the playoffs looking bleak at this moment, as New Mexico is one of the teams that they're currently chasing. So that brings us back to this game, where my good friend and mentor Tyson Whiting always says, it's a good day for 2 points. And this is one of those weekends where it's 2 points, but it feels a whole lot like 4 points, because 2 points here tonight not only gets you 2 points in the standings, but it also gives you 2 points. It pulls you closer to the El Paso Rhinos, who you're trying to chase in the standings. So for the Wranglers, it's going to start with a big second period. We saw last night that the power play was the star of the show, helping the Wranglers to victory with 3 second period goals on the PP. They'll look to do that again here, although no penalties in the first period. And so you got to think, if that continues to be the trend here tonight, the Wranglers are going to have to find a way to win this game 5-on-5. Thought Amarillo did some really nice things offensively in period number 1. And it looked like they were trying to move play along the walls and also dump pucks in. I think El Paso was quick to sniff that out, and they did a good job of shutting that down in the first period. Wranglers did have a pretty good amount of shots on goal. Michael Manzi made some good saves, but I have a feeling that we haven't seen him make his best save yet. I think the Wranglers would look to challenge him a little bit more here in the second period, maybe get some good passing going, try and hem the Rhinos in their own zone, get that next goal of the game to tie it up at 1 here in the second period. It's a loud crowd, looks to be close to a sellout here in El Paso County Event Center. Looks like it was a late filing in crowd. Every seat appears to be filled. This is a loud building, one of the toughest to play in, right up there with NYTEX Sports Center. These fans are loud and bring a lot of noise makers. There's a guy with a giant rubber chicken to my right. It's a difficult place to play in, but the Wranglers came away with a victory last night. In fact, Wranglers have won 2 games in this building, 1 in overtime, the other last night in regulation. The Rhinos have only lost 3 games in regulation in this building, one of them being to the Wranglers last night. They've also lost 2 games in overtime here, 2 in a shootout. One of those overtime losses, again, at the hands of the Wranglers. So the Wranglers have been the Rhinos' kryptonite in the past. El Paso only has 1 win in the franchise history between these 2 clubs ever since the inception of the Wranglers 3 seasons ago. That 1 win came back in November, and it was in overtime. Wranglers lead the all-time series 18-0-1-0, their record against El Paso. They've never lost to the Rhinos in regulation, and they don't plan on doing it again, or at any point here tonight. Wranglers back out on the ice for second period action. Wranglers in their white jerseys, blue numbers, professional red trim. Rhinos a black jersey. It's a two-tone, one black base, orange trim. The Rhinos will skate from right to left, Wranglers from left to right, as we look to get set for second period action here in El Paso. Watch for these first 5 minutes in the second period to be critical. I think the Wranglers want to get off on the right foot. They're not going to get that first goal in that 5-minute span. At least generate some momentum and silence this crowd. Off the draw, Wranglers possess. Ben Ivy tries to shimmy his way into the attacking zone. Rhinos bottle him up and slide it down deep to McDonough. Rambunctious crowd gets louder and louder as the Wranglers look to exit their own zone. Rhinos can't keep it in at the blue line. Bouncing puck handled by Germain. He'll just drive it in deep. McDonough will play for Gagnon. Ben Ivy off the near wall for Jack Ivy. Quick pass to McDonald. He streaks into the zone. Button hooks to the top of the right circle as a trailer. Ben Ivy shoots, and it's gobbled up by Manzi for his first save of the second period. I really like that play from that first line. I believe it was Troutwine who worked it up to Jack Ivy. Quick pass to McDonald. He curls, finds a trailer in Ben Ivy, takes a quick shot. And that's the kind of creativity that you want to see from the Wranglers here in the second period, trying to get on the board. I like the use of speed on that last play. See if they can continue it here as the second line is out there for this next sequence. The two D-men, Bruclides and DeMarco. Zapp will be the face-off taker. Topi Puukkonen be stationed to his left, Connor McNaughton to his right. I really like the chemistry that these three have developed over the last couple of games, ever since that second line was assembled. As off the draw play goes into the near corner. Wranglers try and flip it to the opposite side. Zapp working with Zarski. Play goes back out to center. McNaughton will dish it back in. Goes behind Manzi. Zarski is able to play it upwards for Frank Defelski. And he looks to find Arias in stride. He cuts towards the net. Breakaway save made by McDonough. Right pad stop on Arias. Again, the Rhinos drive towards the net. Tori Lund gets shut down by the Amarillo defense. And Puukkonen will chip it into the attacking zone as the Rhinos will dump it in. A little over 2 minutes, or a little over 1 minute into the second period of play. As Lindsay from his own zone will go across for Hiltonen. Rhinos run into the Wranglers zone down the right wing. Bolduc drives towards the net. McDonough shuts it down. Puck is free between the circles. It squeaks out on the far side. Lindsay hacks it around towards the near corner. As Bolduc spins away from DeMarco. Tries to shovel it back below the goal line. Euclides is there defensively for the Wranglers, and he'll get it out of the zone. As we have now hit 2 minutes into the second period. Kyle DeMarco from his own zone being chased by Cameron. El Paso holds it in. Shot by Lindsay is blocked by Puukkonen. Puck bounces back out into the El Paso zone. It'll be picked up by Tim Mathis, who was picked by the Rhinos in last summer's draft. He'll rip it into the Wranglers zone for an icing. 2:23 into the second period. Luke Morris out there with Morley Phillips, Elias Abrant, TJ Ritchie, and Cole Semenyuk on the blue line, as this draw is going to be to the left of Manzi on the near circle of the Rhinos zone. Draw won by LaBelle. He's able to slap it back out to the neutral zone for Ginger. He gets pummeled on the near boards by Phillips, and the Wranglers enter the zone. Phillips slams it around towards the far side for Abrant. He'll dish it below the goal line. Wranglers get it back up top. Semyuk at the right point, shoots! Deflected wide of the net by Abrants. He'll go after the puck. Wranglers trying to hem the Rhinos in their own zone. Is down the left wing. Morris keeps it in at the blue line. Lindsay will pick it up from behind Manzi. Phillips on the forecheck. Morris gets a stick in the way on the forecheck as Phillips gets it for the Wranglers. His shot goes wide of the net from a sharp angle. El Paso picks it up at center. It's Cam Bezier down the right wing, trying to go around Nick Troutwine. That's a tall task for anyone as he's in the right place defensively to make the stop. Wranglers pick up the puck from behind their own net. Nolan Gagnon will bank it off the far wall and into El Paso territory. Streaking after it was Jack Ivey. Wranglers back on the forecheck. 16:30 to go in the second period as the Rhinos launch it into the glove of McDonough from center ice. Stops time with 16:28 to go in the second period. And they now announce it is a sellout here in El Paso County Event Center. Tough crowd here in El Paso to play against, as the draw is going to be to the left of McDonough. Ben Ivey in the first line out there. They'll take the draw. Walker, the representative for El Paso. Rhinos win it as Reed backhands it all the way around towards the near side. Behind the net, Rhinos pick it up. Shepler, who has the game's only goal so far, drops it down low for Walker. Backhand try. McDonough denies him and he pounces on the rebound. With 16:11 to go in the second period. And now Reed jostling behind the play with Gagnon. As we saw some physical play towards the end of the second period, we saw some scrums after the whistle. Wranglers will get a full change as the second line comes on. McRoberts and Semyuk are going to be the two demon, and now the Rhinos, seeing that the Wranglers are getting a full change, will do so as well. Their top line comes out. Defelsky, Lund, and Arias. Zapp will take the draw against Lund to the left of McDonough. El Paso wins the draw. Arias a shot. Save made by McDonough. Play trickles towards the near corner. Moves behind the net. Semyuk will chop it up towards the far wall for Pukkanen. He hits Zapp in stride. Bouncing puck at center ice. Settled down by the German forward. Will enter the attacking zone. He'll drop it off for McNaughton. The shot goes high and wide and out of play with 15:50 to go. And afterwards, McNaughton gets hit behind the play. Looks like by Frank Tefelsky. Linesman steps in, directs Tefelsky away from the play. And that's going to be the first penalty of the game. So the Wranglers will get the first power play chance. It's 2 minutes for roughing. And the Wrangler power play will get its first chance. So we saw how big the power play was in the Wrangler victory last night. We'll see if it plays a factor here again. Amarillo on the man advantage, 23.1%, third best in the North American Hockey League. El Paso penalty kill, it's one of their weak links, 79.87%, 24th in the league. From the left circle, Rhinos able to pick it free from the skates of Zapp and get an opening clear with 15:44 to go in the second. Wrangler power play been playing very well over the last couple of games as the Rhinos from center ice stymie the Wrangler attack and send it back into the Amarillo zone. The Wrangler power play over the last couple of games has been on fire. Five power play goals in their last 3 games. 35.7% in that span. As Jack Ivey from the near corner looks to find Zapp down low. McDonald also in the area, but the puck sweeps free, and Torrey Lund will charge out of his own zone. Lund down the right wing, shorthanded, gets his pocket picked. Wranglers have numbers the other way as Zap moves up ice, tries to move in, but Rhinos are quick to get back and shut it down. Under a minute to go on the Wrangler power play. 14:44 to go in the second. DeMarco from behind his zone net will start the next breakout. He'll pitch it towards his right for Nick Troutwine. He'll rip it around towards the far side wall for McNaughton. Reverses and send it back towards Troutwine, who's pinching down low. At the half wall, players converge. Wranglers trying to pry the puck free. 27 seconds on the power play. Morris looks to find Puukkonen. Rhinos are able to sniff it out and get another clear. Wranglers stationing 3 men at the blue line. Kyle DeMarco again leading the charge as stretch pass off the stick of Morris. He's offside anyway. 13:57 to go in the second and just 7 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. Not a whole lot going on there on the man advantage for the Wranglers. The Rhinos doing a pretty good job of shutting down plays. Bottling the Wranglers up at their own blue line. Not really giving anything for the Wranglers to work with on the man advantage here as the plays going to go all the way back into the Wranglers zone. Face off to the right of McDonough. Ritchie will backhand it towards the neutral zone. McDonald tries to get up to Ben Ivy. It's intercepted by El Paso, and the Rhinos are back to full strength. Bolduc enters the Wranglers zone. It's knocked off the puck. TJ Ritchie steps in. He's able to backhand it out towards the neutral zone, will be picked up by Germain. The reigning South Division Star of the Week will pass it towards his right. He's off a stick, tumbles into the Wranglers zone. Players crash against the end wall. TJ Ritchie able to get enough on it to get it to McRoberts. Rhinos trying to pick it free from his grasp. They are successful in doing so as Bezier on the near side. Looks to center it to Lindsay. It's broken up by Jack Ivy. He attempts to move it into the Rhinos zone. He does, but not much more as El Paso is able to possess. McDonald on the forecheck gets a steal. McDonald at the top of the right circle, looking for a trailer, any sort of help. He doesn't get it, and Tafelski will move up ice. Looks to find Bolduc on the left wing, but his pass is off the mark. Wranglers scurry back and get the puck, courtesy of Sebastian Mitro. The young defenseman shimmies away from the pressure, finds McDonald on the left wing. His play up at the Wrangler blue line is possessed by Miller. They'll go across looking for Morris. They'll chase after it deep into the Rhinos zone. Muscles Mathis off the puck. It'll be settled down behind the net, move into the crease. Manzi's able to take a poke at it and get it up to the line. Shot by Mitro, paddled away by Manzi. El Paso will loft it back into the Wranglers zone. That's going to be an icing with 12:15 to go in the second period. Wranglers able to get a change. They'll send that second line out there. Gagnon and Troutwine, your defensive pairing. Meanwhile, tired Rhinos have to stay on. This draw is going to be on the far circle. Zap will take it. Top line for El Paso out there. Tafelski, Lund, and Arias. Wranglers win the draw. Puukkonen up to the line. Troutwine. Deflection from Zap goes wide of the net. Looked like Troutwine was shooting it towards his stick, looking for a deflection. Lund looks to get it out of his own zone. Held in at the right point by McNaughton. He'll rip it around towards the left point. Troutwine is there, but he can't keep it into the zone as he's feeling pressure from Tafelski. Later's pinned up against the wall in front of the blue line. Puck is hacked deep into Rhino territory. Lindsay gets it towards the right wing, looking for Tafelski. Hopped over his stick. Wranglers look to get to work. El Paso from the left wing. LaBelle centering pass for no one. Troutwine was the only man there. Wranglers pick up the puck and will move up ice. .11:16 to go in the second period. From the right wing, a shot there. It's stopped by McDonough. Looked like it was taken by Brendan Coughlin of El Paso. McDonough's has been pretty sharp here tonight. But the one goal by Eddie Schepler so far has been the difference maker. And that coming under 3 minutes into the first period. So the Rhinos 1 and the Wranglers nothing. 11-12 to go in the second period. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome back to El Paso. Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. Wranglers have 16 games remaining on the year. The Rhinos have 18. For the Wranglers, 8 of those games will be against teams in playoff position, 4 of which against El Paso. Rhinos have 18 games remaining. 14 of those will be against teams currently in playoff positioning. So the Rhinos definitely have a tougher schedule ahead. Wranglers will have 6 games remaining against the Colorado Grits and 2 against the Odessa Jackalopes. Defensive zone draw gets pinned up against the Wranglers' end wall. Walker is there for El Paso. DeMarco, I believe, for the Wranglers. Kroklides joining the pile. Pops free to Ben Ivy. He looks to get to work. Is down the left wing. Ben goes across for Jack Ivy. Goes out of his grasp. Rhinos hack it back into the Wranglers' zone. That'll be an icing on El Paso with 10:43 to go in period 2. Kyle DeMarco, I thought, played a really solid game last night. Was great at top prospects. He's a leader on and off the ice for this Wranglers club. He goes off for a change. It seems like he can do it all. He can generate offense. He can block shots. He can do pretty much anything coach asked him to do. He's the only Wrangler remaining from the inaugural squad. Offensive draw won by the Wranglers. Semenuk tries to keep it in. Rhinos quick on the puck, get into the Wranglers zone. TJ Ritchie will work his way down the left wing. Wranglers move up ice as Jack Ivy. Wranglers have numbers, potential 3-on-1. As down the left wing is Ben Ivy. Looks to center it for Jack, but the Rhinos are able to break it up. Eddie Schepler was there defensively. Rhinos down the right wing. Bolduc looks to drive towards the net. Tumbles behind, and Wranglers going to escape any more dangers. McDonald finds Semenuk at center ice. At the right wing, it's Abrand for Morris. Below the circle, swings it towards the middle. Save made by Manzi. Miller takes a hack at it and stays out of the net. Make that McDonald. And now behind the play, McDonald gets hit up high. No arm is raised. We stay 5-on-5. As meanwhile, Cameron goes the other way. He'll shoot wide of the mark. Pops out on the right wing. Zarski fumbles the puck. Phillips is there at neutral ice to receive the pass. 1-on-1 as he works against Pellerine. Phillips towards the goal. Looks to find a trailer. Manzi gets a paddle on it, and he'll freeze it with 9:32 to go in the second period. The Wranglers looked like they were going to have a couple of good looks on the odd man rush, but the Rhinos were quick to catch up to them, break up those chances, and keep it a 1-0 game. But the Wranglers knocking on the door lately. Like what they're able to do over those last couple of shifts. They just have to find a way to bury one past Michael Manzi. Shot count 10-8 in favor of El Paso. As Phillips is going to stay out there with Abrant and Morris, 2 D-men, Troutwine and Gagnon. Draw is going to be on the far circle of the Rhino zone. Morris will take it. He's been excellent in the face-off circle this season. His opponent is Torrey Lund. Easy win for Morris. Troutwine has trouble holding it in at the blue line. From center ice, he'll just wheel it in. Morris gets to work in the right corner. Shoulders off Pellerine from the puck. Gagnon swings it towards the middle. Bounces back up to Phillips at the line. He'll take a shot, goes off the stick of Arias and wide. And Manzi will get a hand on it. Stop time with 9:13 to go in the second period. DeMarco back out on the ice. This time his D partner, Sebastian Mitro. Wranglers technically dressing 8 natural defensemen, although they're down a forward, so on the line chart, Mitro is listed as a forward on the 4th line. We haven't seen him playing a forward role, though, here tonight. Wranglers have been rotating skaters in and out of that 4th line role. As Ginger will exit the Rhinos zone to the left wing, looking for Coughlin. Pass is a little too far in front of him. Mitro will get there first. Pukanen off his own end while looking for DeMarco. LaBelle racing after it. Is able to play to Ginger. Across, looking for Hiltonen. Goes off his stick. He possesses from the corner. He'll shoot, and it's blocked. It goes behind the net. DeMarco finds McNaughton on the left wing. Pukanen lets the puck go just out of his grasp at center ice. And it'll trickle into the offensive zone. Zap, first man on the puck for Amarillo. Leaves it at the left point for Mitro. A shot wide of the mark, but good shot there from the young defenseman. Pukanen, tough on the puck from below the goal line, kicks it to Zap. They'll backhand it up top for Ritchie. Ritchie around for McRoberts, fresh off the bench, takes a shot. It's blocked by Ginger. Back to McRoberts. He'll shoot. Fought off by Manzi. He might have gotten a piece of it as it went wide of the net. McRoberts back pinching in the right corner. He's able to possess for a moment as he shimmels his way back on the end wall. McRoberts exchanges with Zap on his forehand. Gets it up top for Ritchie. He'll settle it down, fire a shot towards the goal, and Manzi might have gotten a piece of that one as well as it went up and out of play into the netting. 7:53 to go in the second period, but really nice couple of shifts there for the Wranglers offensively. Something to build upon. Rhinos still with a 1-0 lead as we head to our second media timeout here in El Paso. It's the Wranglers Hockey Network on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
A little over midway through the second period. Wranglers ramping up the intensity over those last couple of shifts. Some good offensive zone time, testing Michael Manzi. Knocking on the door for their first goal of the game as the Rhinos lead 1-0. First line out there for Amarillo. Jack Ivey will take the draw against Bradley Walker. On the far circle. Fans getting loud here in El Paso. Drop the puck, and it's won by El Paso. Shuppler rifles it around towards the near side. McDonald holds it in for a shot at the line. Manzi fights it off, and El Paso will get it out of the zone. Shuppler, the former Minnesota Wilderness, ramps it into the attacking zone for A.J. Reed. From below the goal line, Walker looks to get to work. They go corner to corner for Shuppler, who has the first goal of the game. Behind the play, Walker had pinned up McDonald against the boards and then dumped him down to the ice. That's why we got the whistle with 7:23 to go in the second. And it looks like we're going to get a penalty here. And McDonald is headed to the penalty box. is going to get 2 minutes for holding, and El Paso will get their first chance on the power play. So, El Paso looks to get to work. It's one of the best units in the league, 21.47%, sixth best in the North American Hockey League. Wrangler penalty kill, it's a top 10 unit, 83.8%, seventh best in the North American Hockey League. Draw will be to the right of McDonough on the near circle. Tori Lund will take it against Zapp and win it. On the left point, Hiltonen walks the line to the right side. One-timer Germain, and he didn't get enough on it as pass trickled below the goal line. And Rhinos look to get it back. Squeaks free to the right circle. Tefelsky up top for Hiltonen. To the right wing, Germain steps in and shoots. Save made by McDonough, and on the rebound they score. Tori Lund gets it into the back of the net, and El Paso takes a 2-0 lead. Germain took the initial shot. McDonough made the save, and then Lund in the right place at the right time is able to stash home the rebound for the 2-0 score. The power play goal for Tori Lund. He now has goal number 13 on the season. Point number 33 overall. He extends his point streak to 5 games. 2 goals, 4 assists in that span. The Wranglers now face a 2-goal hole. Tori Lund's goal is assisted by Germain. That's the only assist on that goal as Jack Ivey looks to dig deep in the attacking zone. To the middle, Ben Ivey's shot off a stick and wide. Eddie Schepler is there defensively. He's had a pretty solid night for El Paso so far, offensively and defensively. As Ben Ivey gloves it down at center ice on the clearing attempt. He'll backhand it deep into El Paso's zone. The Rhinos quickly send it back out into the Wranglers' end. No icing as Troutwine picks it up. They'll scurry down the left wing. Look to knock out the stick of Morris and in deep. No icing as the Rhinos' Zarski gets crunched by McDonald on the near boards. Morris centering feed from around the net gets knocked astray. Back to Morris in the far corner. Gets hit along the boards by Germain. Rhinos knocking out the stick of Gagnon, and down the right wing they go. Bezier to the middle, leaves it. Looking for Cameron streaking in. Back to Bezier to the right wing. Shot by Zarski is stopped by McDonough. And afterwards, get some pushing and shoving. Phillips trying to go at it with Bezier. Bezier having none of it. Wranglers trying to find a way to get a goal here. We're going to have to start from their own zone. Draw is going to be to the left of McDonough. Zapp will take the draw against Cameron. Off the draw, Wranglers are able to win it. Zapp is able to free it out to the neutral zone. El Paso take a stab at it, get into Wrangler territories. Down the left wing is Bolduc. They'll fling it around towards the right side for Zarski. Now back behind the net is Cameron. Defending him is Ritchie. Wranglers look to get a puck away from the El Paso Rhinos' grasp. As from the left point, Hiltonen fumbles the puck. It'll go all the way back down to his netminder, Michael Manzi. McNaughton is there on the forecheck, looks to get a steal. Wranglers second line pressuring as Lund is able to scurry away from the pressure at center ice and get it up into the Wranglers zone. 5:04 to go in the second period. As Arias moves it towards the middle, nobody there. On the opposite side on the near wing, Semeniuk is able to hack it back out to center. Bodies converge in front of the scorer's table. Frank Defelski is able to move it down the right wing for Arias. He'll go around TJ Ritchie. Paddle it along to the near side. Shot there is blocked by Semeniuk. It's taken by LaBelle. He's back on the puck below the goal line. It'll bounce free. Ben Ivy will carry it out of the Wranglers zone. They'll play it forward looking for Puukkonen. Pass was behind him. I don't think he knew where the puck was. We'll go back out the center, and so Ben Ivy is forced to just dump it in. Lindsay goes coast to coast, looking for Coughlin up ahead. Wranglers go the other way. Is down the left wing. McDonald looks to center it for Jack Ivy. Goes off a leg and wide in the near corner. DeMarco drives it in deep. Bears get pinned up against the end wall. DeMarco gets stationed up at the blue line once more. Ben Ivy comes free with the puck. As Ginger, the former Wrangler, moves it towards the middle. Shot there by Abrant is gloved by Manzi. 3:45 to go in the second period. Rhinos with a 2-0 lead. And it looks like McDonald is headed back to the penalty box, much to his dismay. It's going to be 2 minutes for high sticking. So the Wranglers penalty kill 1 for 1 so far here tonight. They look to go 2 for 2. They're a perfect 3 for 3 in last night's 4-1 victory. They look to remain perfect here tonight. Drawn to the right of McDonough. Zapp will take it and win it, although the Rhinos quick to get it back. While Duke up to the line. Hiltonen fumbles it. Zapp lurking. Rhinos keep it in. They'll shovel it down the left wing. Couple bodies converge there. Wranglers, quick on the puck, are able to get it back out as Zapp does the deed for the clear. Manzi will play the puck to Germain. And now down the left wing, Hiltonen will get things started. They'll fire it off the end wall. Bolduc will streak in. They'll move towards the near corner. Bodies collect there, and Ben Ivy will toss the puck out of play on a clearing attempt to the home penalty box with 2:53 to go in the second period. Rhinos with a 2-0 lead. They also lead the shot count 12-9. 1:08 remaining on the penalty to Jack McDonald. For McDonald, 2 penalties in this game. First one holding, second one high stickings. A couple of bad breaks here. As another puck gets sent into the home penalty box on a Wrangler clearing attempt. 2:45 to go in the second period. This is one of those buildings where it's freezing cold. I've got technically 2 jackets on. I've got my suit jacket and then this winter coat, and it's still not enough. It's one of the coldest buildings in the division. Blazers Ice Center is right up there, but this is by far got to be the coldest. Neutral zone draw won by the Rhinos. Pellerine will rim it around towards the near end. Look, Walker is there. Wranglers try and pick it from his skates. At the left point, Lindsay drops it down low. Couple quick passes, and it's onto the tape of Bezier from the left circle. To below the goal line for Cameron. Up top is Lindsay. He'll shoot. It's blocked by McRoberts. stuffed on the clearing attempt. A shot there goes wide. Back on the stick of Bezier, on the near wall. Drifts towards the middle. Cam Bezier walks the line and drops it off for Pellerine. And now behind the play, we have another penalty. As the Rhinos had 19 seconds left on their power play. So now, a Rhino heads into the box. It's going to be Bradley Walker. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for 19 seconds, and the Wranglers will have an abbreviated power play. Interference is the call. So we'll get some open space for a little bit, and then the Wranglers will have a power play for about 1 minute and 40 seconds. Wranglers 0 for 1 on the power play so far here tonight. It'll be a perfect chance for them to get things started offensively as they're still searching for their first goal of the game. Draw is going to be to the right of Michael Manzi. It'll be Tefelsky against Zapp on the far circle. Zapp, one of the Wranglers' best face-off takers, wins that one there. At the left point, Gagnon drops it down low for Zapp. Gets crunched against the end wall by 2 Rhinos. Tefelsky will free the puck from his grasp, and Lund looks to clear, but he is unsuccessful in doing so. With little help from Tefelsky, Rhinos get it back out to center. Gagnon was initially able to keep it in. But the Rhinos go down and take a shot. McDonough the save, 1:44 to go in the second period. Now it's a Wrangler power play for 1 minute 40. Draw in the far circle of the Wranglers zone. Zapp will take it and win it once more. Gagnon way behind his net, looking for an avenue to get things started. Begins with leaving the puck for Zapp, who swings out with speed down the left wing. From the red line, leaves it for Gagnon. Across it's Jack Ivey with a burst of speed. He goes around from the right circle, in and out of the crease. Good dangerous chance there. As McDonald on the far half wall. Exchanges with Jack Ivey. Quick pass to the line. Gagnon across. Zapp, a one-timer. Puck out in front, and the Rhinos sweep it away for a clear. Like McDonald was there. Lurking back door. Here he is again. Across, looking for Zapp, and Hilton gets a defensive stick in the way. 56 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. It's from the left side. Gagnon rips a shot wide of the net. Momentum carries it out of the zone. Wranglers forced to reset. Ben Ivey for Gagnon, and now Zapp on the zone entry. He'll drill it around towards the far side for McDonald. Tries to chop it up to Gagnon at the line, but it evades him. Wranglers forced to regroup here with 33 seconds remaining in the period and 27 seconds remaining on the power play. From the left wing, it's Pukkanen. He'll rumble into the attacking zone. Morris chases after the dump in. Off the end wall, Wranglers try and loosen the puck from the Rhinos' grasp. Tefelsky will step in and clear the puck back out to the Wranglers' zone with 10 seconds to go in period 2. Penalty expires. And so does the period. After 40 minutes of play, it's the Rhinos 2 and the Wranglers nothing. Amarillo looks to climb out of a 2-goal hole with a big third period. Rhinos had 1 goal in the first, 1 goal in the second. Wranglers look to rally in the third. Second intermission report comes up next in 2 minutes. And we'll talk about the first 40 minutes of play, preview the final 20, and see if the Wranglers have some more magic up their sleeves as they look to pull off a win in enemy territory before heading back home next weekend. Also take a look at some scores from around the South Division, see what some other teams are doing. I believe we should have some final scores by now. We'll check in on those when we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Welcome into the second intermission report. Guy Chiarenza here from El Paso County Event Center. Rhinos with a 2-0 lead. After 40 minutes of play, Wranglers have some catching up to do. Rhinos got things started early on. 2 minutes, 49 seconds into the first period. It's Eddie Shepler getting the first goal of the game to put the Rhinos up 1-0. Bouncing puck on the far side is settled down by the Rhinos. That's Kyle Arias sending it across for Shepler, who buries the puck for the 1-0 score. No penalties in the first period. Only one goal. That was the Shepler goal. Moved into the first intermission with the Rhinos up 1-0. And then with 7 seconds to go in the second period, Rhinos struck again, this time on the power play. It's Tori Lund getting the goal. It's assisted by Jakob Germain, the reigning South Division Star of the Week. Rhinos take a 2-0 lead on that goal. As the Wranglers now staring down the barrel of a 2-goal hole, look to rally back here with a big third period and come away with a victory in enemy territory. Well, at this point in the game, the Rhinos with the lead, got the crowd on their side. One of the big reasons why the Wranglers won last night was because they were able to score the first goal, silence this Rhinos crowd, which tonight is a sellout. Really put them to rest and really control the game from there. It's going to be a different story if the Wranglers are going to come away with a victory here tonight. I have a feeling that if the Wranglers do win here tonight, it's going to be something similar to what we saw on the 25th of November, where the Rhinos had a lead entering the third period. Wranglers rallied back, late goal by Roman Zapp, tied the game up at 2. And then Zapp then scored the overtime winner to make it 3-2 Wranglers in the victory. It's kind of what we're looking at right now. A game that the Rhinos lead 2-0. They also lead the shot count 14-10 as well. Now you think back to that overtime victory here in this building back in November. Get this. The Rhinos, when leading after 2, have a record of 16-0, 1-0. Now that one loss in overtime was to the Amarillo Wranglers on that very same game on the 25th of November. This game is not over. In fact, it's far from it. But the Wranglers have to find a way to put a better effort offensively here in the third period than what they've done in the first 40. I thought they did some good things in the first period. Had a couple of power play chances in the seconds. On that first power play chance, the Wranglers just couldn't get anything going. El Paso on the penalty kill really had their way. Did a really good job adjusting from night to night. Were able to shut down the Wranglers on both power play attempts. I think the Wranglers, at this point, I think you just need to simplify your game. I think you need to start taking a little bit more shots. And just don't overthink it. This is a very good Rhinos team. There is no doubt about that, but I think the Wranglers are right up there with them in terms of skill and talent. In fact, I'd say the Wranglers probably better than the Rhinos on paper. But if you're Amarillo, you have to find a way to put a complete effort here in the third period and lay it out on the line. We talked to Connor McNaughton on Wranglers Weekly, our weekly YouTube show, sat down for a one-on-one interview. And he said, hey, yeah, we got to treat this basically like a playoff series. Because that's essentially what it is. 4 straight games against the Rhinos in crunch time, critical time of the season where we're under 20 games to go. Every point counts, every point matters. Think about it, if the Rhinos win here tonight, that negates what the Wranglers did last night in the victory. The Rhinos get their 5-point lead back for third place in the South Division. A win here tonight for the Wranglers in regulation would pull them within 1 of El Paso. But hey, I think at this point you even take an overtime victory to pull within 2. In a game where you have to treat it like a playoff series, you have to dig deep. Somebody has to step up here. This is time where boys become men. And for the Wranglers, we've seen them step up time and time again through the course of the season. Who's going to be the hero tonight? Who's going to be the guy that leads the charge, gets things started? Who's going to step up for the Wranglers? I think El Paso's done a pretty good job of shutting down Amarillo's top offensive scorers here so far in this game. Somebody has to step up. If the Wranglers are going to come away with a victory, somebody is going to have to answer the bell, call their own number, and help the Wranglers climb back into this game. They say the 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. Perhaps the Rhinos come out into the third period complacent with this lead and they try and play defense and hold it. All it takes is one. All it takes is one goal for the Wranglers, and this hockey game is totally within their grasp. In fact, it is right now. But you got to find a way to generate something offensively. You had a couple chances on the power play to do it, unsuccessful. Looks like this game, with all indicators pointing towards it, the Wranglers is going to have to be won 5-on-5. Only 4 penalties in the entire game, 2 on either side. The Rhinos have done their part scoring on the power play. The Wranglers get another chance. They're going to have to punish the Rhinos and smash it in their face and get a power play goal there. I think the Wranglers could be a little bit more aggressive offensively. I think we're going to start to see them take some more chances here on the attack here in the third period, knowing they're down by 2. We pretty much said the same thing against Oklahoma last weekend when the Wranglers were down by 2 entering the third period. You got to get that first one early. You don't want to be down by 2 midway through the period and then having to scramble and then start to ramp up the urgency then because you're down by 2 goals and you're looking to tie the game. The best thing the Wranglers can do to open the third period is, 1, play with energy, play with urgency to start the period. Catch the Rhinos on their heels. They have a 2-0 lead coming out of the locker room. They're going to be sitting on their heels. Catch them off guard. Get that next goal. I assume the top line will be out there to begin the third period of play like they have been. They started the game, so we'll see if they can get it done right off the jump, set the precedent. Get back. Wranglers just need to get back to playing Wranglers hockey, play the right way, and get the momentum turned into their favor, because right now, looks like it's in favor of the Paso Rhinos, who are backed by a sellout crowd. And even if the Wranglers aren't able to get that early goal, at least generate that momentum. Draw a penalty, get guys fired up, get things going. Rather get that goal now and have to come back later in the third period. We come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Take a look at some scores from around the league. See what's at stake as we enter a big third period here in El Paso. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube. Rhinos lead 2-0 as we're set to open the third period. Just about 4 minutes gives us enough time to peek in at what's going on around the South Division. We have a couple finals as the Ice Wolves defeat the Jackalopes 5-2 over at El Paso. Over at Ector County Coliseum. I can't stop saying El Paso. We've been here so long. My goodness. I'm at El Paso County Event Center. They're over at Ector County Coliseum. The Ice Wolves win 5-2. Yusaku Ando gets the hat trick as the Ice Wolves win big. Over at Blazers Ice Center, the Brahmas open up a can and a whole lot more on the Oklahoma Warriors. 9-2 is your final score. Brahmas pour it on against the defending champions. Looks like nobody scored a hat trick though, although Owen Kerr did have 2 goals in the Brahmas' 9-2 victory. Lone Star had 2 power play goals. And finally, over at American Bank Center, the Shreveport Mudbugs up 5-2 on the Corpus Christi Ice Rays with 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. So with all that in mind, everything that needed to go the Wranglers' way, or at least you wanted it to go the Wranglers' way, did not here tonight. Looks like the Mudbugs are going to win. Ice Wolves won and the Brahmas won. So, one team behind the Wranglers gains some traction with 2 big points in the New Mexico Ice Wolves, and 2 of the other teams ahead of the Wranglers that are not named the El Paso Rhinos get 2 more standings points and increase their lead on the Wranglers. So this is a big game here. The Wranglers need these 2 points if they want to race for the division crown, or at least one of those top 2 seeds in the division, or a first-round bye. Got to find a way to win here in enemy territory. Reminder that this week we'll have a sit-down interview with one of the Wranglers. Make your pick on the YouTube live chat. Who you think I should grab here for this for this week's one-on-one interview segment. We'll have that on Thursday, and then on Friday we'll be back in the broadcast booth for another matchup against the El Paso Rhinos. Second half of the 4-game set. Scene shifts to the Budweiser bullpen. 7:15 puck drop, 7 o'clock pregame show. Hope to see you right here on the Wranglers Hockey Network on any TV and YouTube. If not, I don't want you to just sit at home and not listen to my broadcast. If you're not going to listen, you might as well be there. Go get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. The game on the 16th, Friday night, and then on Saturday, guys, I can't emphasize this enough. You have to be there. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. The Wranglers, First Responders Night. First responders get in free. Show your ID at the door, you're in. Not a dime will be spent. Want to take care of our first responders, our policemen, our firefighters, EMTs, all of you want to see you there. You get in for free. First Responders Night means specialty jerseys. We did a jersey reveal. Go check that out over on our social media channels. Make sure you're following the Wranglers on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Subscribe, follow, and all the like. Make sure you're up to date with the Wranglers. Those jerseys, very sweet. They'll be auctioned off. They can be yours. Yes, yours. You can own it. You can have it. You can hold it in your hand. Come on down to the Budweiser bullpen on Saturday night. First Responders Night presented by Smoke Wagon Beard Balm. Guys, it's going to be a heck of a night. I want to pack the pen. I don't want to see an empty seat at the Budweiser bullpen on Saturday night. This is a good crowd here in El Paso. I'll give them that. But guys, we're better. We are. We're much louder. We're cooler. And we got a good chance to win the Robbie Cup this season. You need to cheer on your Wranglers. Get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. I don't want to see a single empty seat on First Responders Night on February 17th, next Saturday night, just 1 week from now. Wranglers and Rhinos back out on the ice for 3rd period action. Wranglers will skate from right to left, Rhinos from left to right. Wranglers in a white jersey with blue numbers and professional red trim. Rhinos in a 2-tone jersey, black base, orange trim. It's one of those jerseys where it looks very cool, but the numbers are kind of hard to spot because it's a black number with an orange outline. The black on black is kind of difficult. But we make do with what we have as the Wranglers will send out their top line to begin the 3rd period. Ben Ivy will take the draw against Bradley Walker. And that is how we kick off the third period. Rhinos win the draw. Launch it into the Wranglers zone. Below the goal line, Rhinos drive towards the net. Save made by McDonough from a sharp angle. Shot was taken by A.J. Reed. And that stops time just 13 seconds into the third period. Speaking of kickoff, Super Bowl's tomorrow. Super Bowl Sunday. Chiefs taking on the 49ers in Vegas. I'd like to be in Vegas right now. It's nice and warm over there. Freezing in this building, but there's no place I'd rather be than right here, right now, as the Wranglers look to run the table and go on a deep playoff run. Rhinos win the draw, swing it around to the right point. At the half wall, goes below the goal line. Walker on his backhand, trying to move away from the force of Kruklides. The tall defenseman sees the puck go deeper into his own zone. Reed swings it along towards the left side. Pellerin tries to knock it in deeper, gets it onto the tape of Walker. He'll turn and shoot from the left circle. Save McDonough on the wraparound. Wranglers shut that down. And the defense scrambled back in place to help out number one in goal. Kyle DeMarco making an excellent defensive play there. As Jack Ivey gains the red line for the Wranglers and drops it in deep. As we've hit the 1 minute mark into the third period. Pafelski and the Rhinos back out on the attack. McDonough tries to play the puck, has a difficult time doing so. It's pop fly, goes up into the air. Scooped down by Pukkanen at his own blue line, and he'll rumble into the attacking zone. Zarski off the end wall, gets collided with by Topi Pukkin, the big Finn. Dislodges him from the puck as El Paso will shovel it down deep into the Wrangler end. McDonough plays it away from the force of Pafelski as the puck goes into the Wranglers bench as Pukkanen is hit by Zarski in front of the Wrangler bench. And Amarillo taking offense to that. Little bumping and shoving, but not for very long. 1:28 into the third period. This next draw is going to be to the left of McDonough, near circle of the Wranglers zone. Again, Wranglers down a forward here this night. You have to get a little creative with that bottom six. It's Morris winning the draw. Phillips getting the puck afterwards. Abrant, the other winger. Speaking of Abrant, tries to burrow his way into the attacking zone. Rhinos try and shut it down. Loose puck comes to Morley Phillips. He drifts towards the right wing. Semenyuk trades places with him and drives deeper. But El Paso able to squeak it out to the opposite wall and get it back out to the neutral zone. Luke Morris, the former Rhino, on the forecheck. Looks like get the puck back into Amarillo's possession from center ice. Bolduc will backhand it to the Wrangler end wall where DeMarco will pick it up. Finds Phillips up ahead, and he will backhand it into the possession of Germain. Bouncing puck at center ice. DeMarco is able to corral it. Enters the attacking zone. Clinks it in deep. Held in at the left point by Mitro on the clearing attempt. Bouncing puck comes to Ben Ivey. Drifts towards his left. From the circle takes a shot, and it's blocked. And the Rhinos will escape any more danger. As Coughlin from center ice tries to fire it in. Flubs on the attempt. Goes onto the stick of young Sebastian Mitro. Mitro playing in just his 8th game in the North American Hockey League. Still looking for his first point. He's taking a couple of good shots here tonight. He's down the right wing as Jack Ivey for a shot. Blocker saved by Manzi. Goes below the goal line, held in on the clearing attempt at the right point by Gagnon. Ben Ivey from the half wall. He'll shoot, and that one's fought off by Manzi. And the Rhinos are able to clear afterwards. No icing as Gagnon finds an avenue from his own zone off the stick of Pukkanen and into Rhino territory. Pukkanen works his way up to the line, exchanges with Gagnon for a shot that goes high and wide. Troutwine pinching from his defensive position, unable to hold it in. Zap comes back and is able to slap it back to Gagnon. Wranglers continue to possess the puck, but not for long. Turnover here in the neutral zone as Walker whips it into the Wranglers zone. Troutwine picks it up from below his own goal line. Gagnon will hoist it high into the air as it rainbows into El Paso territory. It's an icing on the Wranglers with 16:11 to go in the third period. Still a 2-0 Rhinos lead. They lead the shot count 16-11. Torrey Lund and the Rhinos top line comes back out there. Lund scored the second Rhino goal on the power play. It's one of the usual suspects that are involved when the Rhinos score. Wranglers' second line out there. Zapp will take the draw. Lund will win it. The left point. Mathis pops it below the goal line. Gagnon gets there first as Lund was racing after it. Troutwine plays it forward for McNaughton. Looks to find a racing Puukkonen into the attacking end, but the Rhinos get in front of it, and they'll start a charge of their own. McDonough out to play it behind the cage. He'll catapult it all the way back out to the neutral zone. Rhinos return the favor. It goes right into the glove hand of McDonough with 15:45 to go in the third period. Connor McDonough making his 5th straight start for the Wranglers here tonight. Andrew Peterson is the backup goaltender. But McDonough stood tall here tonight. Stopped 15 of 17 to this point. He's wondering if maybe they might be inclined to give McDonough a break, get a night off here tonight, let Peterson get the start, but once again, it's been McDonough, and he's been great as always. The left wing, Pellerine will roll it around towards the near corner for Bezier. Centering pass goes off a leg and up top to Pellerine. From the left point, he fires, and a save made by McDonough, and he eats that one up with 15:33 to go in the third. And afterwards, he got some more bad blood. McRoberts was wrapped up with a man, might have been Bezier. Keep in mind, Henry McRoberts got in a fight last night with Medrick Bolduc. And Bolduc is out there on the ice right now, but he's going to head towards the bench. Bolduc represented El Paso at Top Prospects last week. Bolduc has 10 goals and 20 assists for 30 points in 40 games coming into the matchup. He also had 2 goals in that second game of Top Prospects. One of the Rhinos' better players. He's down the right wing. Ben Ivey from the neutral zone looks to spur McDonald up ahead. Tries to go around Pellerine. Play gets directed to the end wall. A couple Rhinos are there battling with McDonald. Puck squeaks free to Jack Ivey. Looks to wrap around the net. Manzi gets a paddle on it on the poke check, and he'll scoop up the puck as well with 15:11 to go in the third. Some more stuff after the whistle. That top line, known for being goal scorers, known for generating goals, but they're pesky, man. They will hold their own. They can be a thorn in the opponent's side. And we see the Rhinos getting into it with them after the whistle. That top line's going to stay out there for the Wranglers on the ensuing draw, which is going to be to the right of Manzi on the near circle of the El Paso zone. El Paso wins the draw. Hiltonen, finished defenseman. Well, send it along towards the far wall. Zarski returns it to Hiltonen in the near corner. Puck moves back out to center ice and into Wrangler territory. Collision on the near boards. Walker steps in with the puck with help from Reed. They'll work back up to the line, and they'll glance off the stick of Zarski and into the Wranglers bench. 14:46 to go in period 3. Start to see a good amount of whistles here in the first 5 minutes and change of the third period. Wranglers win the draw at their own blue line. Bouncing puck batted out of the air by Bezier. Troutwine will touch it, no hand pass. It'll go along to the right wing. Knock it off the wall for Miller. Just to find a man moving forward to Morris, and he's got him. Morris will drop it off for Phillips for a shot, and a glove save by Manzi. And again, after the whistle, Rhinos trying to take a couple jabs at Morris. He's a tough one. He can score, he can pass, he can win faceoffs, he can fight, he can do it all. Rhinos got that full experience last night as Morris scored 2 power play goals in the 4-1 victory. He'll head to the bench. Second line on for the Wranglers. Troutwine, Gagnon, the 2 D-men. Draw on the far circle of the Wranglers zone. Zapp will take it against Torrey Lund. Zapp wins it. McNaughton shoots, and it goes wide, and not by much. From the left corner, Zapp comes away with the puck. He'll go around the net, get dragged down. No arm is raised. Stay 5-on-5. As at the right point, Gagnon shoots, goes off a body between the circles. Rhinos can't get out of their own zone. Pukkanen is there to wind it in deep. On the left wing, Troutwine. Help from Zapp, keeps the puck in. Zapp drifts towards his right, finds McNaughton. Back up top, it's Gagnon, and he just can't hold the puck in at the blue line, and now he's in a foot race. Rhinos try and get the puck back. As Lund gets it up to the right point for Zarski. Bouncing puck settled down, he knocks it in. Wranglers pounce on it and get it back out to center ice as Gagnon to the right wing for McNaughton. A backhand it back to Gagnon, centering feed off the stick of LaBelle. Rhinos break it up. His play gets crunched up on the near boards. Ben Ivey battling for it. In a sparring match, the puck comes free behind the net. El Paso swings it out to the left wing for Coughlin, who exits the El Paso zone. Wranglers re-enter. It's shut down at the blue line. Bounces back to Semenyuk. He will enter the zone cleanly to the middle. From Morris, a shot up and over the net. On the near wing, McDonald picks up the loose puck, tries to twist away from the pressure. Cuts towards the middle, gets tripped up, arm is raised. El Paso touches up. Wranglers are headed to the power play. And McDonald looks to appear to be in some pain. As he was trying to dance his way towards the middle. Rhino's got a stick between his legs. Zarski's the culprit. Sent him flying into the air. Looks like he hit the ice pretty harshly. Hope he's going to be all right. Medical staff is going to take a look. So we'll step aside on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NATV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Good news, McDonald back up on his feet, skating under his own power. Still wincing a bit. Hopefully he's going to be all right. He'll head towards the bench. Looks like that's where he'll remain for the time being. It's a good sign. He did not go down the tunnel. Meanwhile, Wranglers headed to the power play for the 3rd time tonight. They're 0 for 2. Critical moment with 12:43 remaining in the 3rd period for the Wranglers to try and cut the Rhino lead in half, as El Paso currently leads 2-0. Zarski that's in the box, the newest defenseman for the El Paso Rhinos, was acquired in a trade at the deadline from the Austin Bruins. Although he is a former Shreveport Mudbug, so he's known very well around the South Division. The official call is kneeing as the Wranglers' second power play unit gets to work. McNaughton will take the draw against Walker. On the near circle, he wins it. The left point, DeMarco. Below the circle is Luke Morris. Bodies crash in on him. He gets sandwiched by a couple of Rhinos. Fluttering puck is sent out of the zone by Walker. Wranglers are forced to regroup. DeMarco will skate all the way back to the comforts of behind his own cage and start the next breakout as he finds an avenue to the right wing for Troutwine. From the red line, they'll launch it around towards the near side. Pukinen sparring with Shepler. Puck is pinned up against the boards. Wranglers trying to jam it free. They do. It squeaks towards the middle. It'll be picked up by Pellerine, and he'll send it down the distance for a Rhino clear. Both teams get fresh men on as we're under 12 minutes to go in the third period. Gagnon with a hop in his step, gains center red, drops it back for a trailing Jack Ivey. He'll exchange with Zapp, and he'll enter the zone. McDonald back out on the ice, finds Gagnon. He'll wheel it around towards the near half wall. Ben Ivey looks to keep it in the zone. Mathis battling with him, and the puck sweeps free to Hiltonen. And with some help from Torrey Lund, the Rhinos get another clear. 45 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. 11:25 to go in the third. Gagnon again leading the charge. Gains the red line, and now Rhinos blue. Banks it off the wall. Little dump and chase action. It's from below the goal line. Rhinos try and get it out. Held in at the blue line by Jack Ivey. Zapp tries to backhand it back up to the line for Jack, but he is unaware of where the puck was going to go. Wranglers forced back out to center. Waning moments of the power play. Zapp on the re-entry. Fires a shot. It's blocked by Germain, and he will clear the puck. And that'll just about do it for the Wrangler power play. Kruklitis enters the zone. Drops it back for McDonald. A spin at the left point. Dances away from the pressure. Finds a trailer. DeMarco on. A shot! And it goes off a body and out of play. We're back to even strength. 10:34 to go in period 3. It's good to see Jack McDonald back out there, moving around on his own feet. Rhinos still lead 2-0 with 10:34 to go in the third. Wranglers still looking for their first goal of the game. There's always enough time for a comeback. We'll find out how this one ends when we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Wranglers Hockey is brought to you by Smoke Wagon Beard Balm, proud sponsor of First Responders Night. That'll take place 1 week from today, February 17th, at the Budweiser Bullpen. Wranglers are going to be wearing specialty jerseys that will be available for auction after the game. Head on over to the Wranglers social media channels to check out what those jerseys look like. Big thanks to Luke Morris and Connor McNaughton for being the models of those jerseys for the reveal. It's going to be an awesome weekend. You can get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. Meanwhile, Wranglers look to take care of business in enemy territory. Rhinos lead 2-0. Offensive zone draw won by the Wranglers. Abraham, a shot fought off by Manzi. Rhinos are able to trickle it back out to center. Wranglers able to work it in once more. Rhinos get it to the line. Morris is forced to backpedal on his own accounts. Find Phillips at the blue line, and he will knock it in as the Wranglers look to get up to work offensively. On the left wing, Morris picks up a free puck, finds Abrant in the near corner. Morris gets it back in the left circle, takes a shot, and it goes wide. DeMarco in open space, shoots, and Manzi is able to reel it in for a glove save. 9:47 to go in the third. And I like that look from Morris, and I like that look from DeMarco too. There's no harm in shooting the puck, especially when you're down by 2. The best thing you can do is get shots on goal. 2 quick ones there from the Wranglers, forcing Manzi to make a couple good saves. Draw's going to be to the left of Manzi, far circle of the Rhinos zone. Zapp is going to take this draw. Against Torrey Lund. McNaughton stationed right behind him at the top of the right circle. Watch for if Zapp is able to win this draw. A quick shot from McNaughton, and he does. McNaughton tries to take that shot, fanned on the initial attempt, and the Rhinos are able to get it back out to the neutral zone. Wranglers quick on the re-entries. McNaughton just chips it towards Manzi. It takes a bounce in front of him and into the paraphernalia of number 1 in black. He'll hold it with 9:36 to go in the third. Connor McNaughton had a beautiful assist last night on the third Wranglers goal. Really liked his play as of late. We've seen those plays where he stations right behind Zapp. He's a lefty shot. So if the draw is in the far circle, Zapp is able to win the draw. McNaughton will try and take a quick shot. Last time just didn't go his way. Pafelski bursts down the left wing. TJ Ritchie there defensively, forces Pafelski to go corner to corner. Now puck rolls behind McDonough. McNaughton is there, finds Pukinen on the far wing. He will ship it up to the neutral zone. He was looking for Zapp, but a Rhino was able to get in the way and field it deep into the Wranglers zone. McNaughton plays it off the far wall once more. Rhinos again meet it at center ice. McNaughton throws a hit on a man to knock him away from the puck. And Zarski from center ice will set up shop for the Rhinos as they glance it in deep. Reed to the left wing. Rhinos go across. Zarski, a shot, goes in and out of the blue paint. As the puck will trickle down below the goal line. Semeniuk tries to battle for the puck. Rhinos come free with it. Shot from the line by Hiltonen. Goes wide of the mark. And the Wranglers are able to chop it all the way down into the Rhinos zone for an icing with 8:31 to go in the third. Shot count 18-14 in favor of El Paso, who currently has a 2-0 lead. Well, we've seen the Wranglers come out on top in situations like this before. The Wranglers, in games that are decided by 1 or 2 goals, have a record of 18-6-5-2. In fact, only 6 of the Wranglers wins this season. We got 24 of them. Only 6 of them have come by a 3+ goal margin, one of them being last night's victory. Looks like Ryan Anderson has called a timeout here. And he's upset about something. 8:31 to go in the third period. Wranglers looking to tie this thing up. We'll be back in just a moment on the Wranglers Hockey Network on NETV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Wranglers down by 2, deep in the heart of Rhino country, looking to pull out another improbable win with 8:31 to go in the third. Draw is going to be to the right of McDonough, far circle. Jack Ivey is going to be the face-off taker against Bradley Walker. Rhinos win the draw from the left point. Pellerine will whip it around towards the far corner. Schepler turns towards his forehand, tries to toss it towards the net. Instead, it gets directed towards the corner. Wranglers bump a man off the puck. Gagnon gets hit below his own goal line, but the Wranglers are able to step in and get the puck back out to center ice. Rhinos quickly return the favor and dump it in and head towards the bench. McDonald from the neutral zone. Gains some speed. Ben Ivey bursts down the left wing. Tries to center it for McDonald. He'll get directed towards the near side. Wranglers center one for Ben Ivey. As it glance off his stick. Worked up to the right point for a blast by DeMarco. Goes off a body as the Rhinos get the block and are able to weasel the puck back out to center ice. McDonald looks to play it forward to Ben Ivey. Goes off a body and onto the tape of Ben. The Rhinos are able to knock it back into their own possession with 7:30 to go in period 3. The clock is ticking and it's not on the Wranglers' side. As down the left wing, Ginger takes a shot wide of the net. Karam's off the end wall, back to Ginger, and his second attempt is blocked by Phillips. Right point, Lindsay finds Bezier down low. Phillips stepping on his shadow, dumps him against the wall. Rhinos keep possession. It's on the stick of Ginger in the far corner. Kruklitis defending him has him pinned up against the wall. 3 Wranglers, 3 Rhinos are there. Under 7 minutes to go in the third. And now an extra Rhino joins the pile. Now peels away. It's a 2-on-2 right now. LaBelle and DeMarco watching. And now they'll both rejoin. LaBelle gets a piece of the puck. Squeaks free to the skate of DeMarco. It's right on his right skate. Does anybody know? Yes, they do. Wranglers come away with that out of the pile, but now they blow the whistle after about a minute of time had dripped off the clock. Wranglers did have possession. And if you're the Rhinos, you like that play because you just dripped a minute of time off the clock. And now Kruklitis is going to the penalty box. So things go from bad to worse for the Wranglers. Down by 2, now they have to find a way to kill off another penalty. Wranglers 2 for 3 on the penalty kill so far here tonight. It's another timeout on the ice. We'll be back to find out how this one ends in Rhino country. It's the Rhinos 2, the Wranglers nothing. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network on any TV and YouTube.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
.6:32 to go in the third period. Wranglers down by 2. Draw is going to be in their own ends on the far circle. Zapp will take it against Torrey Lund. Fans get loud here at El Paso County Event Center. As off the draw, Lund drives towards the net. McDonough makes a poke check, and on the rebound, the Rhinos score. It's Medrick Bolduc, a quick power play goal, just 5 seconds into the man advantage, and the Rhinos take a 3-0 lead. And Medrick Bolduc picks up his 8th power play goal this season. He only has 11 goals, 8 of them power play tallies. Looks like McDonough made the initial poke check on Lund, goes onto the stick of Bull Duke, and he scores with McDonough out of position on the recent poke check, and El Paso now is a commanding 3-0 lead with 6:27 to play. Wranglers win the ensuing draw. The mountain gets a little bit tougher to climb. From the right circle, McDonald tries to take a shot. Bouncing puck flutters towards the crease. Wranglers can't get a handle on it. From the left side, Ben Ivey tosses it towards the goal. McDonald pops out with it on the far side. Rhinos are able to divorce him from the puck as Pellerine will pass it towards his left, and with a couple more passes, the Rhinos get out of their own zone. Walker drives towards the net, looks to throw it across for Reed. Wranglers bounce back the other way and have numbers. Potential 3-on-2s. Jack Ivey takes a shot. It's blocked by Sarsky, and the Rhinos will possess the puck in their own zone. Up against the near corner. Wranglers on the forecheck trying to get it back. Jack Ivey is there. Wranglers get a partial change as Zapp is on the ice. Tefelsky is able to weasel it back out to center ice. Wranglers go D to D and re-enter as DeMarco chips it in. At the left wing, hops over the stick of A.J. Reed. Wranglers try and lift it back into Rhino territory, but again, Rhino is able to bottle that up, send it back into the Wranglers zone. A little over 5 minutes to go in the third, and what is now a 3-0 game. Pukanen from the left wing. Flings it below the goal line for McNaughton. Gets it back to Pukanen. At the left circle, he finds Zapp. Up top, it's McRoberts. His shot goes wide. It'll glance off the end wall onto the stick of a Rhino. And they're able to get it to the blue line. Semenyuk able to hold it in as he tries to burrow his way down the right wing. Zapp joining the fray, gets it below the goal line. Two Rhinos draped over his shoulders as play gets pinned up against the end wall. Arias coming away with it out of that scrum. Wranglers divorce him from the puck, and McNaughton takes a shot from the left point. It goes off the skate of Lindsay and onto the possession of Mathis. They'll gain the Wrangler blue line and just whip it in. A little over 4 minutes to go in the third. Wranglers exit as Luke Morris finds Morley Phillips to his right. Return pass to Morris connects, but the Wranglers are offside with 3:54 to go in regulation. The game's not over yet, but by all accounts it looks like this is going to end up being a split with the Wranglers winning last night. Rhinos a couple minutes away from taking tonight's game. Team will shift to the Budweiser bullpen next weekend for 2 more between these two teams. El Paso wins the draw in the neutral zone. Pellerine will backhand it towards the near corner. Wranglers crashing in on the puck. Jar it free from the left circle. Morris fires, pad save by Manzi. And the Rhinos will send it all the way down for an icing. 3:36 to go in the third. Well, with this Wranglers team, you never know. Comeback is never out of the question. No matter how bleak things look. El Paso's just taken a timeout. We're going to keep it here. If this score holds and is the final score, it sets the stage for a pretty exciting weekend over at the Budweiser bullpen. In 2 games that really had very drastically different results. Wranglers with the dominating win in last night's affair, 4-1. Here tonight, it's been all Rhinos. They lead 3-0. And so, kind of begs the question, what are we going to get next weekend? Both teams will have a week to think about it. Wranglers will have the home ice advantage. But I think the biggest thing is just packing the bullpen. Wranglers are going to need a big, strong, and loud crowd to back them against one of their toughest tasks yet. The El Paso Rhinos, one of the top teams in the South Division. Both these teams jockeying for playoff positioning. Every 2 points counts. I want to see you at the Budweiser bullpen on Friday and Saturday next weekend. Get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. Wranglers looked about the comeback here. Draw to the left of Manzi, far circle. Draw is won by El Paso. They're able to chip it back out to center ice, where Gagnon will shoot it on goal. Manzi makes the stop. Rhinos able to chop it back out to center. As the Wranglers look to start their next offensive breakout with a little over 3 minutes to go in the third period. Jack Ivey finds DeMarco in open space at the center ice logo. He'll move towards his left, and his attempt at an entry goes out of play with 3:05 to go in the third. The draw is going to be right at center ice. Ben Ivey against Torrey Lund. Lund scored the second Rhinos goal. Lund has 2 points tonight, a goal and an assist. As here he goes, down the right wing. Lund enters the Wranglers zone, gets forced back out to the neutral zone. DeMarco has it on the right wing, lets to go across for McDonald. It's just offline, out of his reach. Wranglers get it back in the Rhino zone, centering feed, McNaughton towards the goal. McDonald looking for deflection out in front. Does not go the Wrangler way. And from center ice, Gagnon will hurl it back into the Rhino zone. Tefelski takes a shot from center ice. McDonough the save. 2:07 to go. Wranglers re-enter the Rhino zone. On the right wing, Gagnon takes a swipe at it from the blue line, keeps it into the attacking end. Eddie Schepler able to prottle it back out to the neutral zone. McDonough still between the pipes. We'll see if the Wranglers want to try and pull him for an extra attacker here, or if we'll just let things be. Puck re-enters the Wranglers zone. Walker will be the first man on it. El Paso swings around to the far side and then drops it in deep. Sebastian Mitro picks it up for the Wranglers. They'll go behind McDonough. Pass it to Gagnon. He takes a slapper from his own end off the stick of Morris at the red line and into Rhino territory. Puck will hop into the Rhino bench with 1:18 to go in the third period. The Wranglers have only been shut out twice this season. Once to the Lone Star Brahmas in the infamous 9-0 game, and then not too long ago on the 27th of January, 2-0 loss to the Corpus Christi Ice Race. Miller will stash it into the Rhino zone off a neutral zone face-off win. Phillips has it in the near corner. Rhinos able to jar it back out to center ice. TJ Ritchie will play it back in, at least somewhere. I believe it's in the Rhinos bench, or maybe it's caught up in somebody's equipment. I don't think anybody really knows where that puck went. And they'll just get a new one. Yeah, nobody really knows where that puck went. Everybody checking their equipment. Not you, not me. No, okay, well, guess we'll just get a fresh biscuit. We'll drop it right in front of the Rhinos bench for a neutral zone draw. Wranglers reel it around. Under a minute to go here in the third. From the near corner, Miller drives towards the net, goes around on a wraparound attempt. Shut down by Manzi. He gets caught with a stick after making the save, and he's down on his back. He's clutching his groin. If you're a Rhino fan, that's not what you want to see. Your goaltender clutching that area, but he pops back up to his feet. Appears to be all right. Penalty's going to be to Morley Phillips, and he's just going to hit the showers early. And for Phillips, that's actually a monumental penalty, not just in his career, but in the Wranglers franchise history. As with that penalty, he now is the penalty minute leader, not just in Wranglers franchise history, but in Topeka Pilots history as well, which is what the Wranglers were technically before they became the Wranglers. And so for Phillips, that's his record and his alone. Michael Manzi doing a little bit of a Igor Shesterkin, waving goodbye to the Wranglers. It's all right, we'll see him next weekend at the Budweiser bullpen as the Wranglers look for revenge. Meanwhile, drawing the far circle of the Wranglers zone, Amarillo able to get the puck at Semeniuk. He gets tripped up. No call. The culprit was LaBelle. No battle once more below the goal line. 25 seconds to go. As your man from the right point darts towards his left and shoots. McDonough fights it off. Directs it towards the near corner. TJ Ritchie gets it to the line. Held in by Germain. He'll flip it in deep once more. Rhinos try and center it. It's knocked down by Arias. They'll leave it for Germain. Right wing shot. McDonough the save. Rebound Morris. He'll send it down the length of the ice. And that is all. Rhinos take it 3-0. Wranglers commanding win 4-1 on Friday night. This time it's the Rhinos in dominating fashion, winning 3-0 as the team split here this weekend. Scene will shift to the Budweiser bullpen for games on Friday and Saturday nights. Wranglers postgame begins now. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because I really thought the Wranglers rebounded well last night with their 4-1 victory, snapped their 3-game losing skid, and it looked like they had really turned a page there. Looked like they were ready to run the table and go on a run and propel themselves up into the top echelon of the South Division standings, but this is a humbling experience for the Amarillo Wranglers. The El Paso Rhinos staking their claim, saying we're right up there, the top teams in the South Division. Rhinos restore their 5-point lead over the Wranglers with the victory here tonight. El Paso improves to 28-11, 2-2. The Wranglers fought to 24, 14, 5, and 2. I think there were chances, especially in the second period with a couple power play attempts for the Wranglers to at least get a goal here in this game, at least get some momentum going in this game, and you have to give credit to the Rhinos. They didn't give the Wranglers anything to work with in this game. When the Wranglers were on the man advantage against a Rhinos penalty kill that statistically is one of the weaker units in the league, the Rhinos have proven that their penalty kill could get the job done, something that they really struggled with last night. Seemed like all the themes that we saw in yesterday's game were reversed here tonight. The Rhinos with a power play goal, Wranglers penalty kill. It was 2 for 3 tonight, and the Rhinos emerged victorious. Wranglers left searching for answers. Looks like the penalty kill went 2 for 4. As it was Bolduc scoring that third goal on the power play. So 2 power play goals for El Paso. Tonight it was their special teams that got them the victory. And so look for that to be a big factor in who wins on Friday or Saturday night next weekend, is whoever wins the special teams battle. On Friday night it was the Wranglers. Tonight it was the Rhinos. Michael Manzi gets the 17-save shutout. He's one of the 3 stars of the game. El Paso gets goals from Eddie Shepler, Tori Lund, and Medrick Bolduc. First it was Shepler scoring 2 minutes and 49 seconds into the first period. Didn't take long for the Rhinos to get on the board, really establish that they're here to play. Got the momentum going off of that goal. No penalties in the first period. In the second period, power play goal from Tori Lund. With 7 minutes to go in the second, makes it 2-0, and then Rhinos get one more goal in the third period. 6:27 to go. That's when Bolduc scored his power play goal to make it a 3-0 hockey game, and that's your final score. For the Wranglers, they'll head back home, get some rest on Sunday, get back to work on Monday, and it's going to be an interesting week for the Wranglers, how they approach this next set against the El Paso Rhinos. It's going to be huge. The Rhinos now hit the 60-point mark on the season with their victory. 5 points ahead of the Wranglers. And now the Ice Wolves, with their victory here tonight, are lurking behind the Wranglers only by 3 points. They're in 5th place. Wranglers remain in 4th. Couldn't go up, couldn't go down with a win or a loss. But now things get a little tougher. Every championship team faces adversity, and if the Wranglers want to be a championship team, they're going to have to find a way to overcome this adversity here, as they've won just 1 game out of their last 5. Connor McDonough stopped 17 of 20. I thought he had a pretty solid performance. Wranglers searching for answers offensively. No doubt in my mind that they will be back better than ever next weekend at the Budweiser bullpen. I think that'll pretty much do it for us here on the broadcast. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of Wranglers Weekly. That'll be up on Thursday. You as well. As Wranglers will look to bounce back on Friday and Saturday when the Rhinos come to town for the first time this season. Good news for the Wranglers, 4 more against the Rhinos on the schedule, so a chance to catch up to them in the standings by winning those games, and all 4 of them will be at the Budweiser bullpen. 15 games remain for the Wranglers. 7 of them are against teams that currently hold a playoff spot. 8 of them against teams that are out of it. For El Paso, their schedule a little bit tougher. 17 games remaining. 13 against teams that are in playoff position right now. Four of them against teams that aren't. And all those are against the Colorado Grit. Wranglers still see the Grit 6 more times. You got to take them where you can get them. And tonight, it's the El Paso Rhinos coming away with a big 2 standing points. Rhinos were backed by a sellout crowd, rambunctious bunch, loud bunch. Got a chance to meet the man behind all the commotion. He's a cool guy. Just loves cheering on his team. But I know Wrangler Nation can be louder. Get your tickets at panhandletickets.com. I want to see you in the bullpen on Friday and Saturday night. Big matchups against the Rhinos. I'm going to take it and run with it. Wranglers look to run the table. It starts on Friday nights. Wranglers will be back better than ever. Once again, your final score, the Rhinos 3, the Wranglers nothing. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long from El Paso County Events Center. We'll see you next weekend on Friday night. 7 o'clock pregame show, 7:15 puck drop. Be there or be square.